Alrighty then. Okay, yeah, we're all stuck. There we go. And I'm going to mute myself. Ah. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't forget your tea.
Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. Hello?
Hello.
What's up,
Ken!
Ken?
Yes.
I'm also mad at you because you never replied to my text messages either. But I'll explain that whenever I get back. Un momento.
Un momento, por favor. Okay.
¿Hablas español?
Yeah, un poquito.
Ay, muy poquito. Así.
Just remember the tiniest bit from college many moons ago.
Don't show your age now, Callie.
Let's see. Okay. Go back here. PCs. There we go. Whoa. And I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to go. Do this. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to remove that. And then I'm going to use selected. There we go. Now, this is how. That's how a token should look. There we go. All right. Now, as promised, I'm going to mute and go grab something to drink.
Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Good evening.
No. No. Hi. And back on mute I go, I guess.
Okay.
What, joining your gypsy screaming or what? I don't think so. But fine. You can hear him yelling now. But fine.
Oh god. Not again.
Not again. What do you mean by that, huh?
Okay, you can mute yourself. That's
Oh, well, I see how it is. Rude.
just for till I wake up.
Give that cat some catnip.
Put it out. Put it. Give it some food. Put it in the basement.
Well, my parents are in the basement and they're trying to sleep, so they kind of locked the door. So, shit. I'm stuck with her.
Give that cat some Robitussin.
Robitussin?
Benadryl.
Man.
Want to take some drugs, Chippy? No. She said no.
Go let your sister play with her for a while.
She hates the cat.
Oh, she hates it now?
Well, the cat doesn't like her, but yeah. She my kitty. Ain't that right? Yeah. Also, cat.
Yes.
Seem tired of my shit already. Okay, never mind. Fine.
What
You like
is
that
it?
then?
I'm what?
What was your excuse for not messaging me last night, huh?
I wasn't on?
Rude.
Try, next question?
Yes.
Damn.
Damn what?
Meow.
Next question. Where's Goonie? Next question.
Where's
Where's
James?
Yeah. Next question. Where's the person I don't know?
That'd be Paul.
Yeah.
He'll probably be in here in a few minutes. It's see, 7.
I should have went and got barbecue.
It's like 1 a.m. for him right now over in the UK.
How? Excuse me.
Jesus, I just lost my eardrums.
Hi. I'm sorry.
All right.
Hello.
Girls better quiet it down.
No.
Foul as you'll go evil, start killing people.
I wouldn't let you do it. Thaldor would have a knife to your throat before you could even say hello.
Aw.
Meow. Meow.
'Cause I didn't go get yummy barbecue. Now I gotta order fucking Pizza Hut. I'm not happy.
Aww. Canadian bacon pineapple pizza for the win.
Canadian bacon.
I'm
Hell
about
yeah.
about to just go get damn barbecue and say fuck it. You guys can do whatever the hell you want to do for 20 minutes.
Then I have the Uber Eats to get you the barbecue.
Nah, just go drive, pick it up. It's right down the street, but
Better hurry.
I tried to lay down, take a nap, and fucking old lady's dog next door.
Yep, 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 yep.
This
And me
thing,
and my cat.
this thing is so old, and it's like the fattest dog I've ever seen, and it can't hardly walk. So it's like basically hopping around on 3 legs.
Does she feed it honey buns? Jesus.
I don't know, but it won't shut up. It just barks nonstop. But I feel bad because I know she's like got a handicapped husband, and they're both senior citizens, and I don't want to like call them.
Rain on their parade.
called on him for fucking disturbing the peace.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
It's called
There's my
Earplugs.
Brit boy.
Hello.
Pleasure to meet.
It's called earplugs, dude. I have come to enjoy the value of earplugs.
Well, they damage your hearing, and
I
Let's
hate
face
sticking things in my ears. Not for me. Nuh-uh.
I already say what? Huh? Enough. I don't need to add to it.
How does it damage your ears?
Earbuds? They damage your ears.
No. Ear plugs. Plugs.
Same thing.
No.
If someone's being really, really very loud, you need to shut them up. Just chuck something in your ears and everything will be fine.
Or just shove them down each other's throats. That'll probably
that-
make them gag and shut them the fuck up.
Yeah, but then they can't breathe. That's what it, and then the police come, and then you're tried for murder, and then there's a whole
But it
other
makes this a
problem.
problem because it gives you silence.
We know
Start
duct
anything
tape
to
work
make
too.
noise if it can't breathe.
You know, they say silence is golden, but duct tape is silver.
True.
Well, I hope there's plenty of duct tape in prison.
That would be funnier if you said silence is golden, but I'll settle for silver. Stretch out duct tape.
Rip. You only go to prison if you get caught.
Okay, I'm back. I just had to fix my hair.
It's only murder if you can't prove it wasn't self-defense.
Yes,
Amen.
in my self-defense, I chucked some earplugs down his throat, and enough of them until he choked to death. And then instead
And then
of helping
duct taped
him,
his
I
mouth.
put more in and duct taped it shut.
He was so high on acid, he thought his earbuds were food.
What's there? Aren't they made of sponge? So wouldn't they like absorb the water and stuff? And hello, we're talking about killing people with shoving earbuds down each other's throats.
That's the wrong
Sound about
person to
average,
say that
really.
to. What's up? What's up, James?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
No.
Kinda, sorta, maybe.
Yes, we can.
Quiet.
Well, I just want to make sure because I've had problems with my headsets before, so I just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay.
You sound good. You're just low.
Am I low again?
A little
Yeah.
bit, but I can hear you.
All right, let me see if I can tweak it.
Wish Ivy had that problem.
Shut the
Damn.
fuck up.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Okay.
This is why we can lower volume. It's fine.
Someone else to like shove earbuds down their throats. Yep. Another one on the list.
No.
You know, unfortunately, I think most earbuds would actually like just, have a hard time swallowing it, but you can still swallow.
It depends how many.
That's what she said.
Okay, everybody except James, please stop talking so that I can get James's levels set without the rest of you interrupting. Okay, James, go ahead and talk a little bit, please.
Test. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're very, very soft.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now try it again. Don't change anything on your end, just try it again.
He just muted and
he's-
deafened himself. He can't hear you.
He's already changing his own stuff. Yeah.
Can't hear me? You still can't hear me?
No, hold on. Now, you don't change anything on your end. Just do what I tell you. Okay. Speak again. Say a few sentences again, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, yeah, can't. Okay, now try to bring your end up a little bit, please.
I think I'm already maxed out. I'm just trying to see if it's coming through my mic or my computer.
Okay. Have you looked at your video and sound settings in Discord to see if they look like they're right?
That should be right, but if I check my mic, it shows that it's taking it, but it's not. I don't see the activity when I don't hit the let's check.
Yeah, if the little ring around your icon lights up, that means that your microphone is detecting, and we, like I said, we can hear your voice, but you're just very quiet relative to everybody else.
Test. Yep.
Still very quiet.
Doesn't change anything, does it?
I hear him just fine. Can you just turn him up manually?
Well, the thing is, I can turn him up a little bit, and yes, we can hear him, but he's going to be very quiet relative to everyone else.
Is this any better?
Oh, that's much better.
All right. I'm just tweaking my input volume.
Okay, don't tweak anything. Just leave what you have.
All right,
whatever you just did.
All right. Am I good right here?
Yeah, you're good there.
Perfect. Cool.
Excellent. Wonderful. Okay, cool. And a minute to spare. All right, everybody, you can go back to your regular conversation for the next minute until we're ready to start.
Yeah, I just turned you up, James, on my end on Discord, but you sound good.
Perfect.
Hey, Amish. Welcome.
I gotta be able to hear Mulek.
Sorry, what was that?
I said I gotta be able to hear Mulek.
Yeah, because I have such important stuff to say.
Damn right you do.
All right. Okay, everyone. I hope you guys saw the message in Discord. And with that message being said in Discord, we are going to get started. Welcome, everybody. This is Thursday night. I am DM Galabond. I am joined by the full cast and a guest. We will get to that in just a moment. But last week we had some technology issues that struck a couple of our players. We were unable to have a session. So the last time we saw it was happening here was 2 weeks ago. And viewers kind of ignore a little bit what you may have thought you remembered happening at the end of the session. Because we are going to start with one of our new people. Desarius.
Yes.
Desarius, it is early morning. You have been to the ruins of Berez, and you realized, I think I'm going to need to find some more people because of some of the disturbing things you saw there. And you decided to make your way towards Vallaki, the little town of Vallaki, because you remember that some friends of yours that you know over at that one place have relatives in Vallaki, and you have traipsed through the edge of the Svalak woods, and you're kind of cutting off, going right down the main road because you want to just sort of stay out of sight.
Correct.
And you hear the sound of music. And this is music that is the happy, joyous music that you recognize as a tune from the Vistani. And you also smell wood smoke.
Mm.
So you head over to the east and you come upon the following scene. So we see Desarius, you are right here.
Yes.
And as you look out, you see this hill that rises up, and there's more Vistani wagons around that hill than you have ever seen in one place at one time. And you also notice there's a bunch of horses inside the ring of wagons. And there's 2 men, probably Vistani men by the look of them. One tall, lean, angular. The other one a little bit shorter and much larger. And then you catch sight of, on a pathway to the north and further to the east, you catch sight of 4 people. There are at least 2 humans, possibly a third. One of them has a guitar case slung over his shoulder, and there is also a dwarf with them. And as they approach, one of the Vistani notices them, taps the other man on the shoulder and points down the path, and then that one disappears, apparently heading towards the tent. The first one, or the other one that's left, turns and looks, and as the 4 strangers approach, he throws his arms wide and he says, "Oh, my friends, welcome, welcome." And they have a little conversation that you can't quite overhear. And at the end of it, the man sweeps his arm in a gesture, and he leads the 4 newcomers over and inside the tent. And you, Desarius, you're kind of wondering what you want to do about it when you notice another figure that emerges from the side of one of these houses over here.
Okay.
And this is a woman. She is a human. She is probably not Vistani. She might be Barovian. Ireena, tell us a little bit what you look like, or what would Desarius see when he spies you?
Ireena's crouching stealthily on the other side of the house. House, you call it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. She has auburn hair with like matching eyes that just pierce the soul if she ever looks in your direction, which in the sense she hasn't seen you yet. She has a scarf wrapped around I'm sorry. She has a scarf wrapped around her neck, covering all the way up to her nose as she crouches in the bushes. She looks like she has some armor on to weigh herself down. She's making a little bit of a noise, even though she doesn't look like she's making much. She looks like she carries herself with strong will, but she also seems like she can keep herself quiet and out of danger if she needed to.
Okay. And Desarius, as you are standing there watching this, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Desarius looks like? In case this woman were to see Desarius, what would she see?
Actually, I had sent you a message.
Oh, okay.
Upon approaching the camp, out of character, do I see like camp dogs other than the horses and stuff? Do I see?
Yeah. There's probably some camp dogs, and certainly there is the distinct sound you hear in the background. It might be coming from the area of the tent. There is the distinct sound of the Barovian short-haired caterwaul. That is legendary in these parts.
Okay.
and sometimes makes quite a racket.
Okay. So I would actually, just to make sure, I know that I have received in the past some not so welcoming attention due to my size and look. So until I am sure of all of these people that either have or have not met me before, just depending on you said it was the Velaki. If there's anybody,
the Vistani are the Vistani are the people in the camp. Velaki is the name of the town.
Gotcha,
Yes,
okay.
there's a lot of V's and A's. So,
Yes. So the Vistani, I'm sure there are some that may recognize him, but there are obviously some, he just watched new strangers enter the town, so he's decided to just take it easy, and he'll change you into something that looks like a not well maintained, but obviously a happy dog, one that's at least somebody's taking care of a little bit. He doesn't look like some shaggy rabid mutt, and so he will actually look a little bit more like almost like a wolfhound. Just long and lanky legs, kind of a grayish coat, and will kind of just come trotting in from wherever he's been off to.
Okay.
And then just kind of,
Hang on.
That's okay.
Let me just do. No, I'm going to change this. I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to do. Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So you should be able to
Control that
wolf token, and I'm just going to put your token on the GM layer for now.
So.
All right, but let me rename this, and I'm going to rename it Dog. So that people aren't like wolf. No, it's clearly is a dog. Although it's a largish dog that kind of looks like a wolf.
Well,
Ireena,
the dog's got longer legs though than a wolf, so it's obvious.
Okay.
And a long pointy nose.
Yeah. Ireena, some movement over to the. Actually, are you guys seeing I hate when they do that. I've been giving you incorrect directions, and I'm going to fix that because I'm going to go to the GM layer and I'm going to move this to the token layer instead. This map is oriented in a strange way. The map is oriented with west at the top instead of north at the top. So ignore those directions. You're actually coming from the south to the north. All right. The way you're headed now. All right. Ireena, you see a dog. Looks like it might be slightly feral, but it is, it's wandering around like it's used to people. So maybe this is just a dog that is part of this camp. It doesn't seem to look at you with any sense of alarm or suspicion. It doesn't start barking in your direction or anything. So you guys are there. And since you guys are doing that, Thalajor, Mulek, Krenraid, you had asked for, and the reason that Lugash invited you into the tent was to help Krenraid pick out a suitable pot for the purposes that he was looking for. You had asked for something like a cook pot that you could use kind of in lieu of a proper. I think you were gonna look at it in lieu of a proper forge, and you were thinking about going and cutting some wood and whatnot. But he has found this for you. And then, of course, the invitation has been extended for you to hang out here until Madame Eva shows up. But you had also indicated to him that there were a couple of other errands, and he doesn't seem to be in any way wanting to try to keep you from, whatever it is you want to do. He just was bringing you in to show you some hospitality. So, gentlemen, what would you like to do?
Are we missing somebody logged into the game?
Yes.
Yes, but they're all in Discord. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Krenraid is going to bust out his pipe and just sit inspecting the pot for now, trying to see if it will be fine for his purposes. And it probably looks fine.
Oh, it does. It does.
As long as it's like a solid iron pot, a typical cooking pot is fine.
And Lugash had asked you, or you had told Lugash outside that you probably wanted to purchase the pot because you didn't know whether it would be really suitable for cooking in after you were done with it. And he seems to be fine. However, the woman who has the cook pot, she also has an adult daughter that is there, and she is looking at Krenraid, and she is saying, "Well, sir, this could be a gift for you if you wish it." And you can see that she's
look over at Krenraid, and I throw him a gold and say, "Here, pay for the pot so we can get out of here."
And Mulek whispers over, "Pay for the pot. Pay for the pot."
Take my pouch off my belt and just shake it a little bit. Like, look, Krenraid, money. Don't worry about it. Let's just get it.
I feel like I'm buying something illegal the way you guys keep going on about it. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to buy the pot, but thank you for the kind offer. But no, I will buy it. I don't know what state it will be in afterwards. It would feel wrong taking it.
And Lugash laughs and he says, "Oh, yes." He says, "Now, Marlena, these are honorable guests. They understand the value of a transaction, and as long as the price is paid, we are happy, aren't we, Marlena?" And the woman, she kind of blushes a little bit. "Yes, Lugash, we are very satisfied with that." And she kind of gives him a tight-lipped smile. And then she gives the four of you a much warmer smile,
winking back in a very unrecognized way.
Okay, so you guys are free to mill about in there or to head outside.
Krenraid, would you like a hand with our concoction you need to make? How much of a hand I can be? You are the smith, but I can do something. Help you kindle the fire, help you build something.
I'll need those big-ass lungs of yours, my friend, that's for sure. We're going to need to get this very, very hot. I don't even know we have the time right now to do it anyway.
Yeah, you wanting to do that right now, or?
It's going to take a while, at least an hour.
Maybe we go outside, find a spot to chat, figure out what we're going to do.
Oh, sounds good. Thank you for your hospitality, my friends. It's been great seeing you again. We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Okay, well, as I said, my great Aunt Eva, she will be very interested in meeting you when she arrives. And don't worry about Bluto. He will be fine until we have a chance to hear from my Aunt Eva, at least.
And you said that she may arrive maybe sometime tomorrow or at least by the next day, right?
Oh, she will arrive by tomorrow night. She may arrive today. Between now and sundown.
Out of character, isn't it pretty getting close to evening right now?
No, it's fairly close to morning. You guys just had breakfast, talked to Rictavio at the Blue Water Inn, Rictavio / Thanos at the Blue Water Inn, and you came over here. So it's probably been 90 minutes since you left Lady Wachter's house after breakfast, so it's still relatively early.
But the whole day, okay.
Yeah. So you guys had talked about several different courses of action, and you have plenty of time to do any of those during daylight today. And even if there was a place you wanted to go and come back, you could probably do that during the day today.
Okay. All right. Should we go find a spot to chat? Game plan? Probably don't want to do it here in the middle of their camp here.
Yeah, because there's a lot of it's a lot of noise. There's the musicians are all playing, and several of the people are dancing. And the longer you guys sit there, the more the young ladies seem to take that as encouragement that they might be able to get one or more of you to dance with them. So if you stay in here, you're gonna start getting a lot of attention that your characters may want and your characters may not want. So
what do you say, guys? Falliger?
Say we go walk to the edge of the woods and find us a good little spot to hunker down and do what we got to do.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go.
Okay, can you guys move your tokens?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Which way we want to head? East? What way? Better yet, do I know which way the wind's blowing right now? If I lick my finger, stick it up in the air.
Which way the wind is blowing? Yes, the wind is blowing south, and this map is kind of skewy. The north is to your right. The west is to the north. The west is towards the top. East is towards the bottom, and south is towards the left.
Well, we've got a southerly wind there, Krenraid. Mulek, I guess we could go east, and we can let the wind blow south so the smoke don't, go back towards the camp.
That sounds like a very considerate idea.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be good to have toxic silver smoke just rolling into the camp.
Yes, Dez and Ireena, you see the 4 people walk out, and they go around the north side of the tent and start heading east towards the bottom of the map. So, oops. Okay. And Ireena, go ahead and make a stealth check, which if that's not one of her skills, it would just be a dex check.
So
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so nobody at all notices you. And then if you guys scroll all the way down to the bottom of your of the page, you'll actually kind of see a side profile of what this encampment area looks like. Just to give you an idea of.
Yeah, we'd probably be like somewhere like right in here, just
Okay, all right.
Just right in here, just
So,
setting up for Krenraid.
If you just go somewhere towards like the corner or the edge of the map, that will be fine. All right. So, Ireena, you see this, and gentlemen, you see a dog. It's a dog on the largest side.
For other camp dogs, I probably would have been like trying to play a little bit while kind of keeping an eye on them, but yet,
yeah,
I was trying to listen in on what they were saying as I had gotten closer to camp. So
sure. So this dog, kind of playfully romps with some of the other dogs, but then it sort of looks in your direction and it comes your way a little bit, and then it seems to kind of go back. It's like it wonders. And as it looks at you and as it moves towards you, it's kind of that thing where maybe it wonders if you have something tasty that a dog might like. It's not like it's looking at strangers and thinking they might be a threat. It's not that.
I pull out a piece of jerky from my trail ration and to say, "Here, puppy, 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 puppy," because I know Krenraid would love it. Like I just get the dog to come closer. Here, puppy, puppy, puppy.
I'm already thinking it's the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
Ears perk up and kind of and start kind of loping, kind of just that high stepping trot over to you.
Okay.
And we'll come over and then kind of like stick his nose out carefully and sniff, 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 and then wag his tail like, "Are you going to give it to me?"
Sit.
He sits.
So and this dog looks like the other dogs in the camp, or does it look?
It looks similar. It looks similar.
Okay.
So it's the same general build and size.
All right.
Heather, I would imagine you would choose something that would blend in fairly well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just give the dog the treat, and then I rub it behind the ears. Oh, ain't that a good boy? Ain't that a good boy?
It just, you see kind of that head tilt, like, oh yeah, right there, just right there. Oh.
I bet Krenraid is just like giggling, probably.
Meanwhile, he's sitting there and he's trying to eat the piece of jerky, like.
All right, back to business, I guess, fellas.
Oh, I can buy you adorable doggy wuggy.
Tail's just going. Thump, 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 thump.
This dwarf appears to have gone around the bend a little bit. Maybe the dwarf has been in Barovia almost as long as you have. And
his smile's very creepy.
Hit by the tail. Flap, 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 flap.
He's got a smile both ends of his face, but it almost looks like he's like incredibly constipated. This is a guy that looks really, really weird.
Dude, how do those two go along?
Oh my god, that is too much.
Oh goodness.
Okay.
I'm a classy person. What can I say?
So we I reached out to Rictavio, and he said that he was going to leave for Krezk tomorrow morning. He didn't want to wait until after the festival. Krezk is only a couple hours from here. Since we don't know exactly when this auntie's arriving and this festival is for another 2 days, my vote would be to, maybe we could even head over to Krezk today, because I think we had heard that they might have gems. They might have some supplies that we might need.
Didn't he say they were like they were a more ritzy city?
Yeah, might have more.
Yeah, Rictavio seemed to indicate that he thought they had more resources over there. That's what he told you.
Well, I'm down for that idea because I know Falliser needs what Falliser needs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. I'm not going to say no to that plan.
I don't feel too excited about hanging around here for the rest of the day. Unless you planned on cooking something up in the pot there all day long.
No, that should only take an hour.
Yeah, I've got to make up clay, Crucible, and do some other fiddly things, but it shouldn't take longer than an hour, really. I could definitely use an extra pair of lungs, though, and he looks Michael's way.
Looks at my way. Me and Thaldor.
You guys want to do that right now?
Yeah, it shouldn't take us long. We need this. I mean, this is something for our protection, so it'd be better we do it now, have it on us, and, we're ready to go. Then we can travel on the road, because you don't know what we might run into on the road.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's be prepared, be ready to go, have our silvered weapons, and head out.
Okay, and Daz. So you hear these guys talking about they're making silver, or they're getting a crucible together so they can do some silvered weapons. A couple of them, I'm just remembering what you guys talked about at the end of last session, so I'm just going to say this is what happens. A couple of them head off into the edge of the woods and they start hacking at some branches and picking up some dead fallen branches and bringing those over. Looks like they're getting ready to do some stuff to build a fire. A couple of the others are finding some rocks they can put together to make a makeshift fire pit, in a safe sort of outdoorsy type setting. Ireena, you see these four industriously going about this. What does the dog appear to be doing while they are working on this? Heather?
I'm sorry. I was reading up on something. So what, just basically the dog is going to hang out. Right now I can basically stay in this shape for about 3 hours without having to use the second version or second one of this. So he'll just hang out with everybody. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then may go wander off, go looking around, sniffing, and then come back. So maybe we'll kind of head off towards one of the other camps or whatever. Can I see if I spot her?
Well, I'm going to say Ireena, as Ireena is watching, she sees this dog moving in her direction. So what would Ireena do? And what would Ireena do seeing these four setting about, looking like they're going to be maybe building a fire or cooking up something with this pot or whatever?
Ireena's always on guard, watching out from what's going on around her. As she sees the four people, well, 3 people and a dwarf, set up camp, start a fire, things like that. She'll...
What do you mean, you people in a dwarf? Hold on.
3 people and a dwarf.
She'll kind of set herself down, leaning up against the house, just kind of trying to relax her stance, but not be completely caught off guard if something came up to her. When she sees the big, huge dog coming up to her and say hi, she doesn't shoo it away or anything. She only crouches down and kind of sticks out her hand just so the dog won't be startled or bark or give her away where she is.
Okay. So, Dez, that's what you see.
Yep. Okay, so he'll come over. Hey, how you doing? I'm a happy dog. Basically, he sits down and this big dog just pretty much blocks view of you from anybody else.
She kind of chuckles as she pets the dogs and say, "Who's a good boy? Okay, now you can't give me up, okay? This is our secret."
And about this time, the dog kind of looks at her like, tilts his head.
She kind of chuckles, kind of trying to lean to see what the guys are doing, to see if they're looking over to see where the dog went, or if they didn't care at all, or whatever.
Okay. Now that the dog is there, Dez and Ireena both, I would like you to make another stealth check.
Okay.
Which...
Sorry.
What is
Ooh.
that?
Not like a car. It's no problem.
That's her on her wheels. She's right behind me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't do very well.
Yeah, and Ireena didn't do very well. Okay, so you guys, as you're working, you hear a little, it's kind of a little happy yip, from a dog, and you turn in that direction, and you see the dog that has been over there getting treats from you is now sitting there getting petted by a woman with very striking looks and auburn hair. She appears to be at the corner of one of these houses. She is human.
Guys, do you notice that lady staring at us, petting the dog?
You mean the really good-looking one?
I mean, I am a sight to behold. I don't blame her.
How long has she been there?
I don't know.
Oh. Looks like she's watching us for sure.
But she's also petting the dog, so she can't be that bad.
Yeah, you're right. Perhaps I ought to go over there and introduce myself.
I think that's a
You are
great idea.
Captain C. Yeah, let us keep doing what we're doing. You go do that, Captain C.
Okay. Ireena, you notice now, and Dez, you notice as well, one of the men is starting to walk towards you. This is the one that has the guitar case slung over his back.
Okay.
First, a quick question. Is he making his way like la-di-di, or is he trying to like sneakily come up, or does he just not care?
That's a question for him to answer.
He is steadfast and just confidently walking up to you.
If Ireena has a chance to see him walking before he fully comes out, she'll kind of try and duck herself closer to the wall as she kind of puts her finger to her mouth and says shh to the dog.
Yeah, she does that, and Dez, you turn and you look, and this guy has clearly seen both of you, and he just is continuing to walk in your direction.
And then the dog kind of stands up and tail starts to wag as he's facing the guy. Meanwhile, his tail is hitting the woman. Whap, whap.
She kind of try and grab the tail, like, no, stop. She kind of grabs the tail of the dog and kind of tries and wrestles with it, like, no.
Kind of turns around and like starts licking her face, like, let go of my tail.
And she'll fall over, and then she'll give out a few sneezes as she knows, like, the man's just staring at her now, like, no. It's like, hello?
What time of day is it, GM?
It's between 9 and 10 in the morning. So.
Well, good morning there, little lady. A little early for spying, don't you think?
She kind of looks off guard by that comment. She stands up, brushes off her armor, and says, I was not spying. I was doing some research. And my pupper just wanted to come say hi. Kind of got too friendly. Isn't that right, boy? And she kind of pets his head.
Tail's just a wagging, tongue's lolling out.
So, my name's Falazure. What's yours?
My name's Ireena. And it seemed like you guys didn't need some assistance, no? I've only been watching you guys for a little while. Once you guys got some wood together, I know a few good places in the woods to get some wood. She kind of like tries and masks the reason why she was actually there watching them.
He kind of just looks up and down, looks her over real good. And he'll insight check her.
So I have to roll a deception, or?
Not unless you. Yes, you do. You do. You need to roll deception if you have been trying to deceive him. Okay. You get the impression that she's not telling you the entire truth, Valiger. And for that matter, Dez, if you want to, you can roll an insight check on what she's saying as well.
Well, I feel like Dez would automatically know that I've quotation mark been white lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So then it
just kind of smiles at her, and a little early in the morning for lying, don't you think?
And she kind of gives him the eye and says, "Well, you're quite obviously a bit rude.
Oh.
Who do you think you are?"
Says the person watching other people uninvited.
I just offered to help you out. And this is how I'm treated?
I'll get my own morning wood, thank you very much.
Was just horrid. Oh my god. Seriously?
That's Valiger.
But I guess I could use a good hand or two. You're more than welcome to join us if you really are serious about helping.
Ireena smiles and says, "I guess I'll take it as an apology." As she kind of reaches out her hand with like a little kind of about to her. Her face is still covered by a mask up to her nose. So you can't tell that she's smiling, but you know that she's smiling.
The twinkle in her eye.
Mm-hmm.
Valiger waits for her to like brush past him, and he's gonna like sleight of hand put some beef jerky in her back pocket somewhere.
So you don't even shake her hand or root. Okay.
Yeah, he shakes
This
her
is
hand.
just an excuse to touch her butt. Wow, look at you.
He shakes her hand.
I think he has a different plan for that jerky.
And with his other hand, he sleight of hand puts some jerky in your back pocket so the dog will
Yes.
be very annoying to you. Let's see, sleight of hand. This could go terrible.
Can't be as good as me.
Actually, with that, you wind up dropping the jerky on the ground. You miss her entirely.
And immediately the dog's like, "Food!"
Yeah.
Please.
And then like grabs the jerky and kind of like runs off a little bit while, tossing it up in the air and chomping it.
Okay.
That's a good dog. And he starts walking this way.
Okay.
Back to the group.
Okay.
Does
All right.
Ireena follow him?
Yeah.
You guys just see Valiger walking back with this lady.
Is the dog there too?
The dog kind of ran up the hill a little bit and is chomping down on beef jerky for a moment.
Krenraid's just watching the dog. It's distracting him from his work. Been
Krenraid.
watching it anyway.
Krenraid, how's the melt going?
We're almost there. I mean, I've crashed to the Crucible. I just need to make a hole in the pot. We'll bury it under some soil. Let the heat temp up. We'll need to blow on this. He hands him
I've been down to start blowing. Yeah.
A
Start
whistled
blowing.
piece of wood. Start getting the heat up. And then we should be good to melt the silver.
I look over at Mulek and whisper, "You even got a spell for this, do you, Mulek, that can just make wind, do you?"
So while this was going on, Mulek kind of stepped off to the side, pulled out a small piece of copper wire, and sent a message to Rictavio.
Oh, okay.
You mean sending? Because message is only 120 feet.
Yeah, it's send. I'm casting sending to send him.
I was about to say.
Yep. So it's Mulek. We are traveling to Krezk today. We'll leave in about an hour. If you leave today, we will meet you along the road.
Okay. And you get a response back. Splendid. I will be leaving the inn within the hour. There is someone that we need to make sure gets to Krezk. Krezk safely. Okay, so that's his response to you.
Okay. And so I would have done that, and then Thaldur would have asked Mulek the question, and I would have been, sorry, what was that, Thaldur?
I don't know.
I was going to say, if you had some type of magic that we could use to blow this a little hotter, a little faster.
Oh yeah, the finger waggling.
I mean, I could shoot some fire bolts at it, but that might do a little bit more than what you're looking for. I don't have anything a little bit more calm.
I don't know, if you shot it directly underneath the cauldron, maybe not. Underneath the pot, it might actually help stoke the fire a little better. Didn't think about that. Good call.
Gentlemen, here's our admirer, Ireena. Gentlemen.
Whoa.
Is Ireena, not Irene.
Hi.
Yeah, sure.
Nice
yeah, sure.
to meet
Whatever,
you.
miss.
Where'd she come from?
You never bring dates home on a first time, yeah?
Whoa, he went there.
He did.
I see you met the dog.
I am a
Dog-
blunt dwarf. What do you
Dog
expect?
is flopped over and is like legs in the air and itching his back.
Is this
God,
your
that's
dog?
adorable. Is it your dog?
It is my dog.
Oh my god, it's the most
Over it.
adorable thing I've ever seen. It's so cute.
What's its name?
Dog.
Its name is... I don't know, I've had so many names. I think that this one is Maxwell.
Insight check.
Yeah, I'm very sketch.
Okay, so and then that's another opposed deception check.
I'm distracted by the dog again.
Mulek,
No.
she might be telling the truth. Thaldur, yeah, must be Maxwell.
Ah. How long have you had this dog?
I've had him for a good few years now, and he really likes just going around with the other dogs in town and wandering off meeting new people. You know how it is. And she kind of chuckles softly and says, well, you guys need some help finding some sticks or things like that? I've seen you guys doing it for a
Thaldur
while.
hands her the whittled out piece of wood. Yeah, you can blow on the fire if you like.
She kind of like stares at it and I'll give it a try. As she kind of rubs the sticks together in the pot, not in the pot.
I look over at
Falliger.
Falliger. Right. I look over at Falliger and I just wink. It's like, that one's for you, buddy.
Yes. Now, what? Let me see. I think she gave you a bit of a description, but not kind of all of the description. So let me.
Ireena?
Am I impressed by her blowing capacity? That's important to Krenraid.
She carries herself like somebody who knows her way around the well, she's dressed like a warrior. She's got armor on, and slung over her back she has a heavy crossbow, and at one hip she has a long sword, the other hip she has a short sword. And just kind of the way she carries herself, she looks like she's probably very comfortable with all three of those weapons.
But how's her lung capacity?
Well, if she's a competent warrior, I mean, she's in shape, she's, athletic, and it looks like
doesn't look like she smokes or something like that.
Yeah, she
probably better than
like,
mine.
She doesn't look like some little helpless waif, if that's what you mean.
No, not at all. I want to see if it's a competition now. I want to see if we can have a competition blowing down these tubes far harder than each other.
I don't know. I got a pretty good strength score.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So you want...
I could be walked out by some random lady just walked in when it comes to blowing hot air. Come on.
You guys can each make athletics checks if you're going to partake in this little impromptu competition. Because I'll say that
that's up to her. She doesn't have to join in. But
well, I'll say this. I'll say it's clear to all of you that Krenraid is intending this to be a competition. Who can stoke the fires the best with these hollowed out little wooden tubes. So anybody who wants to can make an athletics check, but you're not required to.
She will do it just to try and swallow the guys into knowing, hey, I'm here trying. I'm trying to be friendly.
Okay.
For some reason, it's whispering my rolls to you. I need to fix that.
I love that.
Yeah. I think that's in the probably a setting in the character sheet.
Check that. But I did roll a 22.
Yeah.
That she is actually succeeding and outdoing Krenraid.
Well, I know that Thaldor had one of these tubes. They gave one of these tubes to Ireena. Krenraid has one. I don't know if they gave one to you or to Mulek, or to Mulek or to Falliger.
So there are two. So basically what happens is we've buried the thing underneath a very thin layer of soil with the pot underneath it and the rest of it underneath it too. You put two tubes underneath it, it's also in the ground, and then you blow into both. You can't have more than two because otherwise the air pressure leaves. So you got to basically constantly keep the air pushing in from both sides so it builds up. Carry on. I looked it up for this session specifically. How do you melt silver when you don't have a forge? And this is how you do it.
Oh, nice. Hey, then in that case, if Krenraid doesn't have it, give yourself inspiration.
I humbly accept, although I'm not sure I deserve it.
Oh, hey, no, that's bringing sort of legitimate smithing lore into the game. That is obviously grounds for inspiration.
Krenraid lost, by the way. Well, which is even better.
Yeah, Thaldor with a 22 and Ireena with a 20.
Right,
and then Mulek. Go ahead.
Mulek was just standing there, and he used his Hat of Wizardry. He rolled a 12 Arcana, so that matches what he needs, and he cast Control Flames, pretty much expanded that fire.
Nice.
5 feet, but I made it go in a direction that it wasn't gonna burn anybody.
Yeah, and now Control Flames. I did that not long ago in an Arcane Wednesday, and the spirit of that spell has always been like adjusting the intensity of the flame, and in 5th edition it's gone to you make it bigger or you make it smaller. So I'm willing to say you can choose to make the flame a little bit more intense or a little bit less intense. Now you obviously never make it as intense as magical flame, but you can sort of concentrate the heat, I guess, a little bit if you want to, instead of enlarging it in area.
Yeah, I just basically wanted to make it look like I'm doing something and I don't even need a read.
Okay. All right. So yes, Krenraid, you quickly realize that Mulek is over there, just sort of twiddling his fingers and looking at the pot, and then he kind of gets a smile on his face, like he's very pleased with himself or something.
And your fire's really good. It's heating up really good.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, hold on a minute. Are you doing some finger waggling over there? I see some finger waggling.
I do have to say, Ireena's blowing is doing work.
We're having like a proper competition over here. I don't have finger waggling. We've got to catch up with her now.
I'm just helping you out.
22.
So you see the wolfhound like run off into the woods, and a few minutes later it comes back dragging a big huge branch like it wants to play.
There we go. Now I got it.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
But yeah, the first one I did roll
Drops it next to the fire.
Okay. So
Good job,
Doug
Maxwell.
And Maxwell goes, it's not my name, but oh well.
She speaks? The dog speaks? Or...
No, that was just him whining, kind of like saying, that's not my name.
Nobody has to speak with animal.
Except the druid, which is in animal form.
I wouldn't know that, but yeah.
I know.
We've seen people talk to plants. It's not too far unknown for a dog to be able to speak back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hell, I talk to it.
I could talk to the dog, but I don't have a reason to. So.
Yeah. All right. So, Krenraid, you guys are there, and you notice, this woman, she's got a set of lungs on her, and she also seems to be proficient with doing handy around tools and things like that, and which is not unusual for dwarven women, because you walk into a dwarven forge, you're going to see just as many women there hammering on stuff as you'll see guys, and sometimes the women will try to outperform the guys at the forge just to prove that they can. And so this is a proper warrior of a woman, it looks like, so.
I recognize that right away, but my immediate thing is I'm blaming Mulek for losing that breath off because he was finger waggling. And that's my excuse to himself. Okay. He's not saying it out loud. He's excusing himself because he's that kind of guy.
Okay. Yeah.
What I want to know, Ireena, is, you look like a pretty capable individual. What brings you to these parts, and more importantly, why do you want to help us gather wood to do what we're doing right now? I'm a bit perplexed as to what your motives are.
Well, all my motives are is I believe that we could help each other out. I could help you guys with some work, and you guys could... I'm sorry.
You should never apologize for a cat being a cat. You have a pet cat as well. You have a menagerie. I get it.
No, she won her deep row. It always knocks me off everything I'm doing.
Oh, what
Well,
a funny thing.
I feel like we could both benefit from this. I can help you guys out with your work, and you guys could protect me in a way because we all have a goal in mind, yes? What are you guys working towards?
Sounds good to me. I mean, Lord knows I need protecting. And he kind of winks at Thaldor.
Ireena kind of stands tall at that comment, saying, "Yeah, damn right, I can protect people."
I've seen you fight, not taking the subtle cue at all. You're perfectly capable of defending yourself. You don't need our help. Also, you look perfectly capable of defending yourself. Why do you need us to do it?
Well, yes, I know I can, but there is also strength in numbers.
Yeah, I can't argue that. Numbers are good. I never understood them personally, but they are good.
Well, whose bad side did you get on?
Well, you guys look like you've been around these parts for a little while. You know those creatures in the woods and things like that. I'm from Barovia. I don't know how to pronounce it.
The village, she would tell you the village of Barovia, which you've heard that this whole valley is called Barovia. I don't know if you've heard of the village of Barovia, but it would stand to reason that in a valley called Barovia, somewhere there would be a village called Barovia as well.
So what brings you out to these parts? Are you lost? Are you running away from somebody? Are you out hunting? Like, what brings you to the Vistani?
She kind of her tongue bends. I'm not lost. Do I look lost? And she kind of looks at him and says, "Well, some experiences made it so I don't feel so comfortable staying at home anymore. I'm always feeling this glaze of somebody over my shoulder, so I wish to be freed from that. So I run to go find my own freedom."
And you want from us just companionship, to more numbers to keep you safe?
More numbers, more protection, but I believe that I can sense that we're fighting towards closer to the same goal. You guys don't seem like you guys are around these parts, but you guys blend in.
It's gonna tap Falisher on the shoulder. Do we have a goal? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, what?
I look at Mulek. Wait. I whisper in Mulek's ear. Isn't our goal to get home?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think our goal is?
Did he hear Thaldor say anything to Mulek?
That would be Thaldor. So Thaldor, make a stealth check to whisper that into Mulek's ear without being overheard by someone near. Nope, you didn't hear
it. Forgot about that.
I'm the rogue. So yeah. Good luck. I'm like a whisper in the wind.
Krenraid wasn't trying to hide it at all, by the way. You could totally hear him.
Okay, and what did Krenraid say? I'm sorry.
Krenraid just said, "Do we have a goal to Falisher?"
Oh, okay.
I didn't know we had one.
Yeah.
I think our goal ought to be to let this little lady join our group. That's what I think.
You seem very adamant about this.
And
you
about
get a
that
good
time
feeling
the
from her or
dog's kind of
something?
like wag, 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 wag.
Oh, he's the cutest little doggy wuggy.
Okay.
Like, don't forget me.
Now.
Hey, Krenraid, we can take the dog with us.
Yes.
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 The dog, you must
We can take the dog.
too.
Well, wait, isn't he your dog?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's my dog.
Okay, then I guess he's going with us if you're going with us.
So we
Iron kind of
fine.
smiles and says, "I believe Maxwell would definitely like that, wouldn't he?" It kind of scratches behind his ear a bit, and
And his long tongue lolls out.
Out of character. This is going to be funny when that dog turns into a person.
I'm gonna love it every minute of
It
it.
would surprise the hell out of
Right.
me too. So let's go.
So, just to expedite the smithing process, what's essentially happening now is the silver is melted into the crucible, which the hot iron pot is now just buried underneath the ground, cover it in soil. We could take the crucible out by just taking it out of the hole that's at the top of the pot, which is what we're going to do. And now it's melted silver. So I believe there are some weapons that require this on Michael's part, some arrows, if I'm not mistaken.
I need some crossbow bolts dipped or coated. Yeah, not only that, I already have a silver coated longsword, but we probably could coat a dagger or two.
I think it was
I
a
have
short
two
sword
daggers.
that you
Short
got.
sword, yeah. Short sword I got from him. Yeah, it was a silvered short sword. But I just need my crossbow bolts dipped. I guess we can dip a dagger or two. Mulek, do you have a dagger or do I need to give you one?
No, I actually got one from our pal Benedom.
What
Oh,
would Ireena's
silver
weapons
tip?
be laced with?
I've got a silver.
Nice.
Krenraid, you're proficient with Smith's tools, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you have a set of Smith's tools in your inventory, your
Yes.
equipment? Okay, then I am going to say that you guys would you notice, Ireena, that the dwarf has these Smith's tools laid out there, and you're thinking, and you realize, oh, they've got silver, and you start looking at your weapons, and it's like, yeah, it would. It would be handy with all the things that are out and about in Barovia. It would be handy to have silver-coated weapons. And Dez, you're seeing what they're doing. If you don't have any silver-coated weapons, you would know, oh, that would be kind of neat to have. And depending on what's in your inventory, don't forget that even something like a bludgeoning weapon, like either kind of the outside of it or the ends of it can be coated in silver, and that would essentially turn it into a silvered weapon. And now as somebody with Smith's tools, you would be able to make a check, Krenraid, and it's I'm going to give it a fairly low DC.
We have 264 ounces of silver melted from silver coins and a silver ingot in total. I did do the weight math. So we should have enough to coat my hammer, some bolts, and a sword at the very most.
Okay. All right.
If you'll allow us to do more, I wouldn't complain, but that's how much I estimate it doing.
God, he's good.
Well, now...
Hooked it up.
Are you guys... Now, knowing... I would presume that he would have told you this at some point. Knowing the way that the group... Well, the group is increasing by 1, as far as you know right now. 1 and a dog. Knowing that, had any of you had some extra silver coins that you think, oh, well, it might be helpful if we had some more weapons?
We could only go up to 310 ounces at the very most, because that's the limit of the clay crucible we could make within a iron pot. That would actually work, but that's still enough to do an extra dagger or some more arrows or something like that, so that would work too.
Okay. All right.
Ireena will speak and say, do you think you guys could coat my longsword while you're at it too? And she kind of ignores the question asked by Mulek now. Trying to change topics.
I see. Well, it's worked on Krenraid because he's completely distracted by the dogs, so...
Krenraid.
No?
No, you love petting the dog, but we need these bolts. We need
Oh,
these
right.
weapons.
I'm gonna get the tongs out and get the crucible out with, I suppose, 310 ounces of silver now.
I guess also, I could also throw in silver too if we needed it.
Okay.
But,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she avoided my question, I'm doing another insight check.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I look at Krenraid and I said, "Oh, so we made Damn. So it's like, oh, so we made like little, I guess clay. I mean, this is what I would think. So you make like where the bolts would sit in, you make like little clay indentations of the heads, and you just sit there and pour the silver over top of them, or you just dip them in the silver.
So if we wanted to craft some, we could technically do that with this stuff we've got. I did actually whittle last session some clay, some mixture of clay and wood molds that would allow us to do that. There were only one used, so we could only make like probably 4 or 5. I think I only made 5 total, and I think one of them was for something else. But
I guess we can make some solid ones and dip the rest. I mean, whatever we could do.
So we could do that, but we wouldn't be able to do the dagger at the same time unless Galley's okay with it, because it would take up like 60 odd ounces.
Yeah, I would be fine with saying that you could throw an extra. Actually, you know what? You did such a lot of research that I'm willing to give you 2 extra free weapons that you can
very generous. So. I did a bit of research just now as well. The arrowhead weight, we could actually do something what's called a hollow point or a hollow arrow, so we could probably make
take the 2 weapons while you can.
You're getting a little too sciencey for Galley. Yeah.
I'm too sciencey for me as well. This isn't normal. Anyway, I'm taking the 2 quite happily. Looked it up.
So how many? So out of my 20 crossbow bolts, how many can be silvered? Is the
we
question.
Can coat all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the ounces, but we can create 4.
So 24. So 24. We'll just say 20. So 20 tip for solid.
I think what he was saying initially is you could either create 4 solid or you could coat 20. Now I may be wrong, but so if you have the 20, take those, and then that other silver we can use for some of the other weapons.
That's fine. Just coat the 20. We'll be good. They don't have to be fancy. Just coat the 20 crossbow bolts. And then I already have a silver.
They will be effective.
Right. I already have a silver short sword, and I guess we'll just coat a dagger. One. I got 2, but we'll just coat 1 because Mulek already has a dagger.
If we're getting 2 free weapons out of this lovely deal, Gadibon's then I say we get the sword and my hammer. I mean, there's already going to be enough for my hammer, but a dagger and a sword.
Boy.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about your sword.
Oh, okay. He said his sword. I'm like, wait.
You have what does Falazir have that's silvered?
Falazir doesn't need silvered weapons.
I think Falazir has a magic weapon. So
he does. That's right. His sword is magical. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So no, we're good.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, there we go. We got our
extra dagger. Wouldn't complain about that. Yeah.
So that'd be 2 daggers that are coated silver. Mulek already has a silver dagger. I have a silver short sword and 20 silvered crossbow bolts, and we silvered this nice lady's long sword and your hammer. Okay. That should be good.
Mm-hmm. Des, the amount of molten silver in the pot is getting kind of low. If you want in on any of this, you might have to let them know now.
Well, the only thing that he'd want is some silver sling bullets. So whatever's left.
I was actually going to think about that. Maybe instead of making a dagger, we make some ball bearings or something out of silver in case we need to torture a vampire, right? Maybe we could just use that.
Well, I got, you could coat a few of my ball bearings. I have like 1,000 of them. You want to coat it? Yeah.
Kind of speaks up, saying torturing vampires. Her eyes kind of shoot wide and look at him and say, torturing vampires? Have you guys come across any?
No,
we just got a warning. No, we just got a warning, but it's all good.
I might have slipped with one.
Wait, what?
She kind of like stares at him, Natalie. What?
I thought you said you were from Barovia.
Yes, I am.
Insight check on that.
I'm just music just keeps insight
right now.
Okay, Eldor, go ahead with an insight check. Okay, well,
Oh,
I mean-
Mulek got the 20.
Well, Ireena is from Barovia, so she's telling the truth about that.
But she doesn't know about vampires, so.
No, she knows about vampires. She looked frightened when you guys said it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The vampires. Have you met any vampires? That was more of oh wait, maybe you guys have more experience in this region than I think you do.
Oh, okay. I
got
was
you,
thinking.
got you,
Yeah,
right.
I was hearing that differently. Okay.
I should have
Yeah.
specified. Sorry.
No, it's fine. We just, because the way you said it, the inflection, I was like you didn't know, and you said you were from here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, we could coat some ball bearings. That's fine. I mean, I have 1,000. How much silver's left in the pot? We can coat
Yeah, I can
so many of them.
basically take the silver that's in the pot while it's still liquid and basically dump in the ball bearings and just start rolling the pot around.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is the dog talking to us right now?
No.
Oh, it's just
Sorry,
that's out
that
of
was
game.
just me completely out of character.
Yeah, but that would have been my idea. It's like, I don't want to do all 1,000 of them, but we'll just throw 500 in there. That should coat the rest of the silver and use it up.
Yeah. And we'll say that Krenraid has gotten peak efficiency out of this, so you're able to get effectively coat. I don't know if I'll say 500. I'll say maybe you're able to effectively coat 200.
That's more than enough.
Club together in the process.
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
those
that's
would then function as sling bullets. If you wanted to use them as sling bullets, because D&D ball bearings, those are not like the little things that you put in a BB gun.
They're like the size of pinball balls, aren't they? Like pinball.
Yeah,
size?
they're more. Yeah,
They're
So
more
they're-
about the size of a marble.
Oh, there you
marble. Yeah, so about halfway in between a
Pachinko.
pinball and a BB.
go. Yeah, pachinko balls.
Pachinko balls.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Fellas,
Anyway.
kind of like just moves a little closer to Ireena. Says, it's not the vampires you're really gonna worry about. It's the wolf. I mean, it's the werewolves. You see one put the bright end of that pointy stick you just got made into it.
By this
She
point,
kinda Sorry, go.
I was gonna say by this point in time, the dog, Maxwell, is laid down and is just kind of sitting there, paws out, head kind of up a little bit, just chillaxing. But you see him
Okay.
kind of, werewolves? Wolf? Huh?
I'm thinking of werewolves. I'm thinking about the relationship. I'm gonna look at the dog and be like, I don't know. This seems a bit.
All of
I wouldn't know any better. Krenraid would not know any better.
okay, all right, okay.
As it looks like we're getting close to finishing up, I tell the guys, I reached out to Rictavio. I told him we were gonna start heading towards Krezk in about an hour. So we're getting close to that time. Yeah, he was gonna leave in about an hour too. So told him that we might be able to meet him on the road to Krezk.
Sounds about right, Mulek. I guess we could start heading that way. I guess our pot's put to use, and we've got our weapons, and we're good to go.
I figured, Thaldor, you could probably guide us the best way up to where we could probably best meet up with Rictavio on the way to Krezk.
Sure. Gally, have I seen a map of this place, or I just know from what they've gave me in directions? I mean, I know which way north is.
You guys, yes, you have seen a map. Because Rictavio showed you a map.
Yes.
Then I would remember it. Yeah, then I would remember
Yes.
it.
So let us go to the map, and I will.
Is the dog a wolfhound, Gunny?
It basically looks kind of like an Irish wolfhound.
So is it big? Is it as big as a wolfhound?
No, it probably scaled down just a little bit.
So too small for Krenraid to ride then.
Yeah.
you would break its back with how much you weigh.
Krenraid doesn't know that. he's working out the height in his head.
I wouldn't say. I get the idea. I look over at you and I see you staring at the dog intently. I'm like, no, you cannot ride it like a pony. No.
Look how big it is. It's fine.
It will not hold your weight. You weigh like what, 200, 300 pounds and you're almost 5 foot. No, not going to work.
I don't know what pounds are, but I am very muscular.
Stone.
Like stones? As in,
like you weigh probably like 200 stone. So no.
Oh, no.
200 stones? That's too many stones.
Damn drawers in their metric
15.
system.
65 stone.
Stone is 15 pounds. So yeah, probably.
Krenraid doesn't understand any of the measuring system.
Okay.
He's thinking you're meaning actual physical stones.
Yeah, in D&D terms, actually, probably the way that people still think of measuring weight, they've probably come up with a different term for it by now, but they would think of it in coin weight. 10 coins weigh what you would think of as a pound. So you would estimate, or if you think that Krenraid weighs 200 pounds, you would think that he weighs 2,000 coins.
Krenraid, you weigh about the equivalent of probably about 2,500 coins.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right. I am worth a lot. Have you seen this body?
Yes, you little sexy.
Ireena will chuckle at that.
I think he made me
And Des, you've seen the dwarf kind of sizing up the dog, and and then Thaldor says, "No, you would break that dog's back if you tried to ride on it." So I don't know how Des would respond to that. That the dwarf was sort of thinking, war mount.
Basically keeping up the ruse a little bit, and basically, hey, he's looking at me. He must have food. I'm going to go check it out. So, kind of goes over like
out of that dog. Oh, it's a cute doggy wuggy.
And when I see Krenraid try to throw his leg over the dog, I just want to say no.
This time you see the greyhound kind of, or not the greyhound, but the wolfhound kind of.
Whenever they mention Rictavio, how would Ireena react?
That's entirely up to you. I gave you a little bit of information about your interactions with him. And you obviously know that they know him because they were talking to him this morning at the inn. You saw and overheard that conversation. And because, yes, I asked the guest players to go and listen to the last session, and so that they would know what your conversation with Rictavio was. And so you know what they talked about. And then it's up to you what you really think of this old man, whether you think he's a creepy old guy, or whether you think he's helpful and means well, or just what you think about him. But it's not a surprise to you, because of what you've seen, that they would know him and that they might be planning to meet up with him. Because that was part of the conversation that they talked about.
Yeah. More so, I was thinking, okay, well, would she try and stay away because she's supposed to be there, or would she just go along and say, la-da-dee, I found my own way?
Well, if you feel like the safety in numbers is helpful, you might figure that if you're in the company of these guys, then even if that Rictavio is a little sketchy, he wouldn't be trying anything while all these guys are around.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be one reasonable interpretation, but it's really up to you.
Okay. But I'd comment that Ballinger made about the wolves, she'll kind of scoff and she'll kind of look away and see that it's scoot closer and kind of like pet the dog awkwardly.
Okay, so Dez and Ireena, for your benefits, as they're starting to talk, and Thaldur sort of relates what they saw from the map. It's 2 miles sort of to the west, and this map is oriented correctly. So 2 miles sort of to the west, and then another about 4 miles. So a total of about 6 miles, which is about 2 hours walking, or maybe a little more, a little less, depending on whether you have a fast or slow pace, to get to this Krezk place that they're talking about.
What's the terrain like? Is it?
This is a road.
Or...
This is a nice paved main road. I know,
but on the edges of the road, what's...
Oh, this is all forest, woodland.
Okay.
Let's see, does your map that you guys see has the little elevation line, so it's a little bit hilly.
Yeah.
But otherwise this road is well maintained.
Okay. Well, at some point in time when I feel like if I haven't had the need to recast the spell, if at any point in time it's like, okay, the spell's gonna wear off or whatever, he'll disappear into the, like he's going off to chase something in the woods. Recast the spell and then come back.
Okay. All right. And I will then also send you a message here. Okay, so...
Yeah.
I guess we start heading out then, before it gets too late, because if we're, going to get somewhere before nightfall, I guess we better go that way.
Yeah, and I told him we'd be on the road within an hour, so...
Yeah, we better start trucking. It's about a 6 mile walk if I look at the map right.
Yeah.
Or what I remember from the map. It's like...
Yeah, you remember
from
the
map.
Yeah, it's about 6 miles, and you know that would take you guys about
Max,
2 hours. That would take you guys about 2 hours to walk. So if you left now, you could get to Krezk by lunch, depending on whether you want to try to stay the night there or whether you want to try to come back to the camp here for any reason.
Oh, yeah.
You could do that. You could do that in the afternoon before sundown as well. So,
okay. So,
and probably on the way out, if we see Lugash, I'd probably just say, we're going to head out. We may be back later tonight, but probably sometime, no later than tomorrow, sometime before the festival.
And he says, "Oh, very well, my friends. You have a safe travels."
Thank you.
And then he notices that there's a woman with you, and clearly from the color of her hair, she's not Vistana. So he just sort of looks at her and kind of cocks his head a little bit and just seems thoughtful, but he doesn't say anything about it.
She'll kind of wave politely and nod her head and just not bring any attention to herself.
Okay, and he'll just give you a little smile and give you a curt nod, but it's kind of a thoughtful look on his face. And
as we get a little bit farther away, I'm just gonna whisper fiddlesticks, and no one knows what I'm doing, but that's what I do.
Okay, and as that happens, we are going to go ahead and take our break. So it's just about, it's not quite 1:30 hour. So let's go ahead and take about 10 minutes. I'm going to make sure the music is on, and then we'll go ahead and we will bring the... Oh, crap. Okay. I guess the music is on. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and put the timer up and the slate up, and then I will mute myself, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Roger that. I'm going to get myself another beer. Back in a minute.
Come on, Ireena.
Come on, Ireena.
So everyone's just eyeing her up. That's funny.
Falliger is. He didn't know about everybody else.
My only question to that is, how do you think Belle would react by your behavior?
Belle? Belle who?
Oh. Like, you made her start going again. Now she's even hurt.
It sounds to me like she's impressed.
No, she's upset. Isn't that right, JP? Yeah. Don't say no, say yes. Go along with it.
Can't bribe the cat.
No.
Who do you really love, Gypsy?
Probably the one that feeds her, having had cats my entire life. Definitely
Me.
the one that feeds her. There you go then. That question answered.
Goonie! Did she disappear? Okay, she did disappear. Okay.
She's got important things to do.
More important things than me.
Yes, absolutely. She's a cat.
Goonie?
What?
Is it a
Goonie's a
cat?
dog. No, there
No,
she is.
I thought you meant your cat. Sorry.
So you're still on your dog form, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, okay, well, I'll revert back, like, to dog form or other form. So yeah, okay. I just want to clear that up.
Sorry,
Out of curiosity.
are you playing a male character or a female?
Yes.
You're a
Male.
Female.
Okay. No, I think she's playing a male.
The Furbolg is a male.
The male?
The furbog
We
is
don't
a
know
male.
it. It's a furbox. Shh.
Yeah, we
The
didn't know
furbog?
it was a...
Wait.
Now we do.
Furbog is a
Furry
male man?
dog. The furry dog.
It's the
Nope.
mailman, yes. It's
It's
a
male. Yep. Mhm. That's why the dogs always chase after the mailman, because other dogs, you know?
It's
Well,
competition, yeah, I get
Gally
it.
must trust you because I know he didn't like to have people playing opposite sex characters. So.
I know that's the same response. I was like, huh? Oh, okay. Anyway,
Yeah, I wasn't
Cool.
expecting that.
Why not? Would be my
What?
question.
because
Well,
he's been in games before that people really over-sexualize some of the roles and like
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's
things
got
like
it.
that.
Yeah, he has it in his table rules. If you remember, I don't know if he probably did. He share his table rules with you when you first joined.
No.
That was like it's on like the first page. It's like he wants people to play their own sex.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that on Gally's part. I've played many different genders and luckily never had that experience myself.
Yeah.
Oh, I swear what he means.
I've had many sexualized encounters with D&D, but those are typically by overcharged sexualized nerds.
My thoughts are, I confess.
Come on, Eileen.
It's gonna be. Oh yeah, fellas, he's rewriting this universal classic nobody knows about, but it's going to be his.
What I want to have happen now is the dog singing
Ireena,
"Come
it's
on,
gonna be like,
come on,
but he's-
Ireena" behind the group, and all of us like, "What the hell is that sound?" And the dog.
Oh no, he's just gonna say Irene. The A is silent in his mind. So
I just want the dog to sing it.
To be completely honest, I even asked Galabon, I wonder if we should change your name up a bit. Ireena, you know.
And then I was like, because
Probably
you know
gonna call me
everybody calls her Ivy accidentally, you know, by her real name, and I said, well, you know, we could always just say, excuse me, are you speaking with an accent? Is it now Ivina? Yeah.
What is that supposed to be?
I like
I fucking know. I'm from the Midwest.
I like
I
the
ain't got
Ivana
no accent.
idea.
I love it. It's in
I ain't got
Barovia,
no
right?
accent. Yeah.
Make
What?
it German-esque, close enough. Transylvania, right?
Yeah.
I get the logic. I wonder where we are going to go.
I found out about. What was it? Who? Oh, was Who was it that I was talking to the other night?
Hey,
We're talking about Blazing Saddles. Madeline Kahn. Oh. Bienvenue, welcome. Come on in.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend of mine for years. Every time that people would like ring his doorbell if we were over visiting, he'd yell out, Bienvenue, welcome, come on in.
You must really love it. Be my response to
Oh god, that movie, you can't make that type of movie anymore. People would take
you
too much of
definitely
it.
can't. No, it's too PC. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's too non-PC.
Tell that to Sacha Baron Cohen.
Say who? What?
I'm with her on this one.
Sacha Baron Cohen, the one that makes the Borat movies, just came out with one.
Oh,
that guy. Yeah.
I know.
A nice exception to the
tell
rule,
him,
I would say.
yeah. Tell him you can't make those types of movies these days.
I mean, but the thing of it is, though, is it's the Mel Brooks movies are the type of movies that make you laugh at yourself as well as, you know, kind of those around you, and it makes you not take things so seriously, you know. So, or you're not supposed to take things so seriously, basically.
Why so serious?
You're goddamn right.
I jumped later into that conversation. I had to use the restroom, but no, catch it. You couldn't make Mel Brooks movies like them that he made back in the day today.
Nope.
Like you couldn't do it.
No, you couldn't.
Except for Borat. Yeah.
Well, but that's kind of a that does that really truly deal with like black people and misconceptions of them and all that fun stuff, or is it about
you could make it. You could make that type of movie today, but the source of the content would be totally flipped towards one demographic. Correct. And then it would be quote unquote woke and acceptable.
Yes, I'm good. Yes, let's go with that. Woke and acceptable. I like that.
So heavily edited, there wouldn't be a movie left.
Did you have? Yeah, basically.
I got cheese.
Did you know woke is a valid Scrabble word? I do now.
Is it hot cheese? Because I got hot cheese.
Really?
Oh, you both have cheese. Are you just making us very jealous at this point?
No, I have hot cheese. She just has cheese.
Y'all
I have
didn't know.
hot
I know y'all
sauce.
play with Bowser or Ken on Sundays.
Well, how do we know unless we interrogate it? And over there's something with some hot cheese or something.
What is it, Michael?
All I heard was cheese.
What I was
That's
going to say is
needed
I know they
hear.
play with you on Sunday, but your Bowser character is probably nothing like your Sunday game character.
Nope.
No.
I call Bowser Captain C for a reason, and it's not Captain Chlamydia. But that might be a nickname
I
whispered
did
in Mulek about.
I didn't even try I didn't even really think about the morning wood. I just thought it just kind of
That
came
was
out.
a good joke. Yeah, that was a good
funny.
joke.
Damn,
Yeah.
you missed the perfect one on that one.
I totally thought
I
you were
could
going
use
to
a
come
new-
in with the blowing part as well. Like, she blows really good.
I could
was
use a couple pair of
waiting
hands.
for the innuendo. I was just waiting for
Yes, I
it.
know. I seen it. I was dying laughing. I had to mute myself, especially with cat in the background. But besides the
Well,
point,
no, it was funny. It was funny. No, it sounds like it was saying hello, hello.
Hello.
Don't get her started.
I was telling them on the other day when I was on with Galabon, and so was Ivy, and her cat's yodeling in the background. And I said, my sister got a Siamese kitten many years ago, and it was actually the first cat we ever had in our house. But what was so funny was that we hadn't spayed her. We'd been told, wait until they go into heat for the first time, then spay them. And it's like, okay. Yeah.
Most doctors
She
say
walked
wait
through the
until a
house
year.
one night, and all of a sudden you hear her start to yodel, oh man, oh man. And my dad's like, we're done. She's going to get fixed. But yeah, I mean, it literally sounded like she was yodeling for a man. A man, a man.
That's fairly accurate.
I'm not proud of it, but I put a few cats in heat in my day.
Stop.
Meow, baby, meow.
No, seriously.
It's getting deep in here.
Unexplained phenomenon.
All right.
No, don't say
Let's-
things like that. Come on.
Get back.
Deep in
Let's
here,
get-
just making it
let's
too easy.
focus back on the game.
Focus, children.
We we can discuss those things after the session. All right. All right. And speaking of after the session, I wanted to do something of a cold open tonight since we had 2 new players joining us. And I would like to take this time at the beginning of the second half of the session and allow those 2 players to introduce themselves. Now, Heather or Goonie has been playing Dez so far, and she is introducing a new character that is going to be part of the ongoing story. So, Heather, if you will, give everyone a little bit of the elevator pitch about you, and you can describe your character when they see a different aspect of your character.
Okay.
So-
So you're basically saying introduce myself personally.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I just
As
want to
the
make
player.
sure.
Yes.
Well, until I met this group, I was basically the oldest person in a lot of games that I played. But now finally I have found a group where they're mostly close to my age. But anyway, which makes it nice. And I grew up during the time of the Satanic Panic. And my first D&D game that I ever got to play was, well, let's just say interesting. And we were basically in this rundown shack of an upper floor above a dilapidated building. And that's a whole nother story for another day. But I've played on and off over the course of 20 going on 30 years. There's a 5-year period here or a 2-year period there, just depending on what I can game. But then all of a sudden, the intranet created Roll20 and Discord. And now I can sit at my home and not have to drive halfway across town and just to get to a game that may not be going on because, 2 people didn't show up. So it's kind of nice. And other than that, real life, I work for a health department. So the last year has been hell. And things are, I'm not going to jinx myself too much, but things are starting to finally slow down a little bit and come down to an even dull roar, so to speak. So that's about it. That's me.
Okay. And thank you, Heather. And Ivy is our other player. And viewers and fellow players, any fault for how Ireena deviates from the way Ireena is written is entirely my fault, because I have given Ivy a very difficult challenge in the lore of D&D. I think, Paul, you would probably agree with me. I have taken a character that is a rather important NPC in the game, and I have given Ivy a little bit of background about her, basically told her what has happened to her character before she meets the party, and have said, all right, that's information that you know, but you are free to play this character however you want. So, and I'm trying to stick to that. So she knows what's happened, and as she gets a chance to talk to people, she can tell you a little bit about it. But I have given her a very difficult challenge, I think, and so anything that doesn't go the way people expect, blame it on me. With that said, Ivy, tell everybody that doesn't know and the people on the stream a little bit about yourself as a player.
Hello, I'm Ivy. I have cheese and I have a screaming cat in the background. Congratulations.
She's the one with the cat in heat.
You're welcome.
Sorry. But yes, you're welcome at the exact same time. Fair warning, this is what will happen if you get a female cat. I started playing D&D whenever I was really younger, but sadly I had to stop because I lost connection with my dad's side of the family. And he is the one who introduced me into playing D&D and such. And I really fell in love with creativity and the mind gaming and things like that. I love playing games like Sudoku and like just puzzles in general. I absolutely love them. So being able to live in another universe and to be able to express myself that way, it's just a creative response I can deal with. And I really find much enjoyment connecting with people and playing the game and making personas and etc. So, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, yes, and Ivy, those of you who are familiar with this game from a long time back, you may recall that Ivy actually was in this particular game when it started, and she had to leave us for a bit. She's back now in a guest role, but it's a possibility that at some point she may be able to come back on a full-time basis. But Ireena is an NPC that is part of the Curse of Strahd storyline. So this character of Ireena will be with us as long as her story allows her to be with us. So let's just put it that way.
Monday game being Alora, and then
yes,
a long time ago, you guys might remember me as Hyza Nira. So
okay. All right. So we were getting ready to take a stroll on towards the village of Krezk. And as you guys make your way out of the Vistani camp and down the road, you come to this. You've crossed this little bridge here, and then you come to this kind of little crossroads, and then
do we see any other traffic, or is it just like really quiet out here? Does this look like a well-traveled road, or is it kind of
there's no traffic that you can see immediately as you leave, but this is a well-traveled road, you can tell. So okay. I mean it's used, and in fact, as you get maybe a half hour away from the Vistani camp, you notice up ahead there is a rather colorful wagon that all of you except for Dez would recognize. And let me ask, the dog did disappear into the woods. Did the dog come back, and is the dog traveling along with the people, or do they not notice the dog?
Did you see my message to you?
Oh.
It was an idea.
If you responded. Okay. 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 All right.
Does that make sense?
So, yeah. So, it hasn't quite been 3 hours. Okay. So you guys would notice at this point, when you catch sight of the wagon ahead, you would say, "Oh, the dog is in the road, trailing behind, and is following you, but is doing that kind of dog thing where you kind of sniffing the ground, and then might dart over to the edge of the woods and kind of lift one paw and look at something, and then tail starts wagging and starts trotting up the road behind you. So
It's
it is
obviously
not
following you, but it just doesn't. It's like, okay, I'm here, I'm good.
Yeah.
Too much else to see and go on.
So the four of you gentlemen recognize the wagon ahead of you as Rictavio's wagon. And I guess Ireena would recognize it as Rictavio's wagon as well.
Looks like we caught up to Rictavio.
That was pretty fast.
Or it's just good timing.
Maybe you should stop, get up beside him and say, hey.
Is he moving pretty quick? Is he?
No, it's being drawn by a couple of draft horses, and he's not pushing them. They're just walking. They're at a pace where they are walking.
So I guess one of us, or Mulek, will try to whistle up to him to see if we can, try to get his attention. Let him know we're behind him.
Okay. As you whistle, the wagon will sort of slow, and you will see the form of Rictavio lean over and look back behind the wagon. And then when he sees you there, he will give a little call to the horses and stop them. And he will wait for you. So do you all go ahead and come up to the front of the wagon?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. And does that include Ireena?
Yeah, Ireena will be staying a little bit behind them, but still look like she's a part of that group.
Okay.
Felazure would be back there talking to her, and he's like, and that's how I wrote the song, Suspicious Minds.
Oh, my God. Just listening to Felazure talking, just shakes his head, puts his face in his palm, looks over at Mulek and goes, really?
And the Rictavio looks back and sees you all, and then you guys notice that he looks in Ireena's direction. And then he says to Mulek, he says, I see that she found you.
Oh,
I was wondering where she had gone.
What can you tell me of her? Are we far enough away from her that she can't hear us talking?
She's getting her ear chewed off by him, Felazure, so I think you're good.
Yeah.
And this will be easy to find a little bit of
So I've been kind of, I can't read Ireena, and so I'm just gonna take what he's given me and say, what do you know of her?
She is of interest to Strahd. She is the one I spoke of that we must protect. Get her to Krezk. Her brother thought to send her to Vallaki, but the wards on the church there have been disturbed, and it is not a place of safety for her. I believe that the wards at the Abbey of St. Markovia in Krezk are still intact. If we help her get there, then Strahd will not be able to get to her so easily.
And does she know that Strahd is after her?
And he looks back at her, and he looks at you, and he raises an eyebrow, and he says, why do you think she wears that scarf around her neck?
Oh. Okay, it's all making sense now. Yeah, she had asked us to help protect her, but she didn't really go into much detail. So we've allowed her to join us for now.
Well, put yourself in her shoes. Would you easily trust strangers that you had just met?
Yes.
That's a good point. but she hasn't given me reason to doubt her. So at least you're aware of her. So that's good.
Yes. I thought perhaps that she had some concerns about me. After all, a strange old man, a beautiful young girl. You can see how that might give her pause. But I assure you, my concern is merely for her safety.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad we could hook up and travel with you to Krezk.
Yes. So, and as he sees all of you are sort of there, he doesn't try to go out of his way to talk to Ireena at all. He seems satisfied that she's in your company. He will then get the horses going again, and they just go at a normal pace. If anybody looks like they want to get up in a seat beside him, he will wait for them to climb up. But the bench will hold 2 adult humans comfortably. 3 would be a little bit of a squeeze. So with 5 of you, there would always have to be at least 2 of you walking. But perhaps all of you want to walk. But if anybody wants to clamber up, they can.
Yeah, Mulek will walk.
Okay.
Falazur's walking with Ireena.
Okay.
I'm walking with Mulek.
And that's how the mist brought us to Barovia.
Well, he just told her our life story. Jeez.
Ireena is just sitting there nodding, smiling, and says, "Just give me one moment." As she kind of goes up to the old man and says, "No hard feelings, old man?" As she kind of reaches out her hand for an apology.
And he looks at you and he says, "No, my dear. I know that you were sent to Vallaki with promises that you would be safe there. And the first thing that you found was an old man telling you that the place of safety you had thought you were coming to was not safe after all. I can understand that would be a little bit unsettling. I am glad that these adventurers were here. It is only important to me that we find a place that you can have some respite from the recent troubles." And he looks pointedly at your scarf as though he knows what you're hiding under that scarf. But he doesn't say anything else aloud.
She kind of glares a little bit, shut up a bit, and then she'll kind of smile and say, "Well, I just don't want to put anyone else at risk, if I can help it."
No,
I'm
my
sitting
dear,
next to the old man at this point, by the way. Just
okay,
FYI.
all right. Okay, so Krenraid scrambled up.
I'm hearing all of this.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, "You will not put anybody out. The abbot at the Church of St. Markovia, he is a good man, or so I am told, and he takes in many people who have need of shelter. You can be safe there, and if you want to simply rest from your travels, you can do that. Or if you are the kind of person who likes to feel useful, I'm sure that, an abbey always has many jobs that need to be done. Until we can find some more permanent way of relieving your distress." And then he looks over at Krenraid and he nods. And then when he sees nobody else is getting up, he will flap the reins again and get the horses moving.
Hi-ho, Silver.
Itself just goes off without its final walk. She kind of has to go back to Ballinger as he continues to talk about their past adventures. And
oh well, I mean, if you want to climb up on the bench, you can. But you know, he figured he was probably figuring that you didn't want to sit with him. And of course, Krenraid scrambled up, but you could climb up and scoot Krenraid over and make him sit next to the old man, or you could sit between them if you wanted to. It's up to you.
she'll walk. It's okay for first
Okay.
a little bit, and then she might climb up a little bit later.
Okay, all right. So there's a fairly good sized group of you. And you travel about another half hour. And then, so there's Mulek, Faliger, and Thaldor, and Ireena are walking. So let me do a D4. Faliger. That is, it's appropriate that it's no, not Faliger. Thaldor.
What? Oh.
Thaldor. It's appropriate that it's you being the
Okay.
rogue.
Yep.
You, as you're walking along, you just kind of have your head not necessarily on a swivel, but you're kind of aware of all your surroundings. And at one point, you look back and you notice the dog is not back there. And so, I mean, you take a note of it, but you've seen that the dog goes off into the woods sometimes, and then comes back into the road. And then
Do I notice a pattern?
Not
There's
really.
not really a pattern. It's just kind of a, hey, what's over here? No,
Okay.
nothing. Okay, I'm back.
But then, when you look back after you notice the dog gone, there is one figure in the road walking behind you. It is walking on two legs. It is not a dog. It's not a human.
So something
Heather,
took me to-
just describe what Dez looks like in his normal form.
kind of. Well, he's got kind of a fur covering face, floppy looking cow ears almost. He's a bit more on the cream to tan color side with long blonde hair, and has a walking stick / quarterstaff and a like a rucksack, and he's got a satchel he carries over on a strap over one shoulder. And this is like a leather satchel, like, you see the carpet bags. This is a leather satchel. And he is 7 foot 10 inches tall, and kind of walks with a little bit of just kind of a, not a hunched shoulder, just kind of a casual lope, so to speak, a casual walk, and he's smoking a pipe.
Wait a minute. Is she human or is this character a human or a Firbolg?
Firbolg.
Firbolg. I wouldn't know that as a
so-
character. No. I'm talking about out of game. I would say that's a Firbolg, but Thaldor
Yeah.
don't know.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a
Firbolg.
a hairy, very tall humanoid. Almost you would think a humanoid that has probably some giant blood from its size.
But just has that air of just kind of loping along, just out for a stroll, couldn't give a care in the world.
So I grab Mulek by his cloak and just give him a tug, and I lean over.
There's also something with me.
Yes, there is something with her or with him. So go ahead and describe what else you see before Saldar, before you talk to Mulek.
That's fine.
There is a giant goat that is next to me.
How giant are we talking here?
How giant are we talking? Well, let's see here. The goat is 9 foot tall. And
at the shoulder.
At the shoulders. And has gray fur blending in. It basically looks like a rock. Just he would blend right in with rocks, so to speak. And big curving horns.
Where would you hide that thing? That's the joke. Where would you hide that thing?
Finger waggling.
That is amazing.
Well,
okay, so
that's for me to know and you to find out. Maybe.
Good idea. Well, I grab Mulek,
walking right along with him, just kind of like,
Yeah.
Right. So I grab Mulek's cloak and I'm tugging. Mulek.
Yeah. What?
Hey, did you notice this person behind us? Because I haven't seen the dog in a little bit, and I just see this. I don't know how to describe it. Why don't you take a look? And I'm whispering this, by the way. Why don't you take a look? Because I've never seen anything like that in my life that I wouldn't even know where to begin.
By this time, it is. You guys may not hear it, but for Ireena and Falasher, it is obvious that Faldor has done a double take looking back, and now he's just frantically tugging on Mulek's shoulder, and sort of one hand is kind of pointed back down the road behind you.
Hey.
Yeah, I as I'm looking, I quickly grab my hand into one of my bags and proceed to throw out 2 balls, and immediately Rocky and Ferris.
If you say Bullwinkle, I'm gonna.
Rocky and Ferris come out, and I tell them protect our party. Don't attack, but protect. And I get them to kind of get behind our party to, in case this creature coming towards us does something that we don't.
Yeah, Dez, you see the guy that had waggled his fingers at the fire pit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He reaches into a bag, throws out 2 what look like fuzz balls, and as they hit the ground and bounce, they transform, and one of them becomes a full-sized, full-grown tiger. The other one becomes a jackal. And they look at him, and then they turn around and they sort of look in your direction. And they take up what you would recognize as an animal kind of taking up sort of a defensive posture, as though perhaps maybe a mother animal might take if they thought there might be some danger to their cubs. So it's like this is not a hostile, I am about to attack you. It's a warning, you better not do anything
stupid
to be hostile. Yeah.
Nope. Basically, if you guys have ever seen, I guess you would call him a hippy dippy, just kind of, just casually, just walking along, like couldn't give a crap in the world, just smoking away at his pipe, and occasionally will look like he turns to say something to the goat, and then just keeps right on walking. Isn't seeming like he's trying to catch up to you guys. Isn't seeming like he's trying to get your attention or anything. Just keeps kind of that hunched over, casual long-legged walk.
Okay.
Daldor
Ivy,
slows
I think you were
down.
trying. I think
So-
Ivy was trying to say something. Hold on. Let's.
As Ireena looks and sees Zalor and Mulek kind of like looking back, like what are they thinking about? So he kind of turns to Falasher and says, "What are they looking at? Is there something on me?" And she kind of like looks down and checks her armor, makes sure they're not like pointing and laughing at her. And she kind of turns back, kind of startled, and she kind of like grips a hold of Falasher and kind of twists him around. She kind of like stops and says, "We need to address this," even though that there's a tiger and a minx now in the way
Jackal.
between
Yeah, a
jackal
jackal.
between me and us, and then the furbog, which she would just see and like stand in amazement of how tall and big and huge the goat is. She'll just stand and stare like in amazement, like, should I be worried?
Would any of us know what a furbog is?
You can make all of you who want to can make a history check to see if you recognize a furbog.
History or nature?
I'll willingly fail it.
I would allow either one. Because either history, if you've kind of read about them, nature, if you may have ever, encountered lore or actually interacted with one. Either one is fine. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Ivy, if I don't think I started off by giving Ireena inspiration, so go ahead and take inspiration. And Heather, do the same for Dez.
Okay.
All right. So Mulek, yes. Thaldor, yes. Falasher, hey, something tickles your memory, but you don't know what name goes with that. It looks kind of like something, and at first ogre comes to mind. No, it's not an ogre. Too civilized, and
If he gets closer, you'll notice that there's he's got bits of tree bark that looks like it's been shaped into armor, and possibly just in certain places, and looks like he's got little bone beads in his hair, and just looks completely doesn't even fit in with what you would think a normal person around here would even look like.
Yeah. Clearly you guys have not seen anybody like this in Barovia so far. So yeah, Mulek and Thaldor. Oh, that's what a furbog looks like.
Would I know where they come from? Like region? Like would they actually be from the Sword Coast or that area, or are they actually just some random out of the way area?
There are small tribes of them scattered throughout the Forgotten Realms.
Okay.
You would probably, you being a more or less growing up in, even though Phandelver is a town, or Phandalin is a town, you've grown up in towns and cities, so you would not know where pockets of these are, but you've heard about them.
Okay.
And I guess Falasher, the closest thing you would come to calling it is you would kind of say, is that some kind of half giant? But you wouldn't necessarily recognize it as a furbog with your 13. So yeah, and you guys were speaking very softly. Ireena and Falasher were a little back behind the wagon. Has anybody at this point said anything to point this out to either Krenraid or to Rictavio? Because if not, the wagon's just gonna keep on going because he has no idea what's going on back there.
Pretty smart.
So are furbolgs generally passive, or are they like, what is their
They're a tribal people. They tend to live very close to the wilderness, and on the wilderness that you would expect to find furbolgs out ranging out as either like druids or rangers, perhaps. It would be rare for them to be kind of fighters or rogues or spellcasters other than a druid.
Okay. So I imagine Mulek, when he turns around and he sees this giant creature humanoid with another giant goat, his first instinct, right, was to throw out these two balls to have like extra protection. And as the furbolg gets a little bit closer, he recognizes it as a furbolg and, looks to Thaldor and says, "Oh, it's a furbolg. You ever seen one of those before?"
Never seen one, Mulek, but I've read about them and heard about them, from Phandalin, but maybe they were in the mountains somewhere, different tribes and different things, not to bore you with what I know about them, but they're pretty peaceful people. I mean, maybe we should slow down and, you know what, I'm going to slow down and have a talk with this furbolg.
Yeah,
see,
and I'm gonna lean over to Rictavio and say, "Hey, we've got a furbolg on our tail. I don't think it's anything to worry about, but do you mind slowing up a bit so we can figure out what this furbolg's, what their purpose is out here?"
Fellas,
A furbolg?
Oh, what?
You ever heard of a furbolg, Rictavio?
I've heard of them, yes. Whoa.
Yeah, they're interesting creatures. This one seems to be by itself. I don't think they really belong to this area or are known to be, I guess, popular in this area. I don't know.
There are no furbolgs native to Barovia. I assure you.
That makes me more curious.
Yeah, he looks at Mulek, then he looks up at the furbolg, and then he looks at Fallager, almost as if he was expecting Fallager was going to say something.
Krenraid's going to turn around at this point and have a look and say, "Okay, that's what a furbolg is. I got that. And then there's a giant goat, even bigger than that giant furbolg." He's like,
"Yeah, the furbolg is, so this goat is 9 feet at the shoulder, meaning it stands higher than that, and the furbolg is 7'8", or no, 7'10", so almost 8 foot."
That's a massive goat.
That goat is huge.
Jesus. When you said that guy was alone, did you actually mean he was alone and had a very big pet? Because that is a big goat.
Yeah.
I'm just curious now about the goat and where how it feeds that thing, because that thing is huge. It's as big as a house.
How do you reckon that thing tastes? It probably tastes delicious.
No.
So
don't. No.
Furbolg just keeps walking and comes up to you guys and looks like he's about ready to pass you and goes, "So why are we stopping?"
Hi.
Nice to meet you, but where did you come from? Not how you got here. Yes, excuse me. I'm looking up the whole time. How did you get here?
A little more.
How did you get here? Who are you? And nice to meet you. I'm Thaldor. But you're an odd sight to see out in this weird place.
What's with the giant goat?
I'm definitely
getting there, Krenraid.
Yes. Many think of me as odd. And then meanwhile, he kind of reaches into one of his bags and he kind of pulls out some jerky and he holds it out to the people that gave him jerky as a dog. And he's like, "Oh, here, I believe I need to retop your stores of jerky from earlier." So
Ireena chuckles at them.
Are we
earlier?
going somewhere?
Earlier. Wait. Can I put two and two together, DM? That he was the dog.
Make a insight check.
Can Ireena do it as well?
Yeah, sure. Anybody who wants to can make an insight check.
16.
Oh my gosh!
I'm distracted by the
natural
giant
one.
goat, so I will
horrible
pass.
insight.
Ireena kind of chuckles at the niceness of this big, huge, pearly man. Well, for Bob.
There's almost a. So let's just put it this way: when you look at this guy, and this guy kind of looks back at you, or this creature looks back at you, you almost
Down at you, you mean?
you get this sense that maybe not quite all in this plane, so to speak. His mind is off wandering without him, and he just kind of smiles, and he's just kind of like, oh yeah, so I'm you can call me Dez. You can call me Dez. And this wonderful creature here next to me, well, that's another story, but he is he kind of like looks around and goes that he's Sangzor. Yes, he's my friend, Sangzor.
Thaldor, your insight is good enough to help you realize there's some things. You notice some detail about the armor, how it seems to be made of natural materials. You look at the fact that this person is armed with just a quarterstaff. It's like there's something very druidic about that. And you remember, oh, yes, druids, they're able to take the shape of animals. And so Mulek would, or Thaldor would kind of put two and two together.
He speaks up and goes, oh, and by the way, think I could have some of those silver ball bearings that you made? I have a sling.
Well, yeah, sure. That's not an issue. Are you going the same way we are? Or are you just traveling out here by yourself? This ain't really the best place to travel by yourself.
He kind of focuses on you and just laughs and goes, well, of course I'm going with you. I started out with you.
What?
That's an interesting way to put it. And that was a nice parlor trick you did there.
No, not parlor trick. Just me. I don't have a parlor. Why would I have a parlor?
Great.
Anyway.
So, yeah, sure. I'll give you some of the ball bearings. We got about 200 of them. Is that more than enough?
Oh, I would think so. I just would need them for protection, so to speak. Yep.
Okay, so you heard everything we said then at the camp, I take it.
Some of it, but you know, the dandelions and the daffodils, they called to me, and well, I had to go roll about a little bit and do a little communion with nature. You know as you do. You have to enjoy life while you can.
So Thaldor reaches into his bag. This is going to be great. So I reach into my bag and I pull out about, he's a Fearbulk. He's 7'10". I estimate probably about an ounce. So I pull out about an ounce of my forget-me-not weed. And I say, hey, this shouldn't affect you like it does most people. So I pull out a little bit and I hand it to him. Put this in your pipe and smoke it. I think it'll make for an exciting experience.
And he kind of looks down at it and kind of gives it a slight sniff. And
you can tell that this is a weed that wouldn't necessarily be a narcotic effect and it's probably not a hallucinogen. It may or may not be a hallucinogenic effect. You would know that kind of with your druid lore of leaf and herb and all that kind of stuff, you would recognize it's something that does have sort of mind altering properties. So you would figure whether you'd want to use it or not.
Well, I measured it to the fact that it wouldn't like affect, because I'm looking at I'm just guesstimating the weight. I know by the height, and it would pretty much, to something that big, would probably just give it a relaxing, calming effect at that point.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't give them the mind altering effect. Because I even said for a human, that'd be too much, and I'm just doing it in my head, and I'm like, this would probably be enough just to put them chill. Like they're already pretty chill, but I mean they would be chill. They would enjoy it. It's like a gift. It's like a welcome gift. Here you go.
I think I'll save that for this evening. Yeah,
be good around a campfire.
Because I would be afraid that I'd fall asleep while walking.
Yeah, maybe.
So, but thank you. I put it in my bag.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Dez, do you have any magical weapons or armor that would register with a wizard doing a detect magic while you're within range?
No.
Okay. So the only things
I didn't buy anything when I started.
Yeah.
So.
The only pings, Mulek, are the things that you already know about that the party has. Neither Ireena nor this Furbolg has anything, and then of course there's the little glow coming from under the seat that Rictavio has, but you kind of know about those already.
Yeah, I basically, since I was having a hard time figuring out the whole dog switcheroo druid thing, I quietly in the background just put on my glasses and spent the next 10 minutes doing this as a ritual.
Okay.
And would have looked over Ireena and Dez to see if anything. So there's nothing, so I quietly put the glasses away.
Yeah. Okay.
Krenraid's drooling in the background. Oh, goat food.
Lean?
Okay. Is Krenraid trying to be subtle?
Absolutely not. He's lost in his own world. He's thinking about goat food now, and that's entirely his world.
Okay, yes. Dez, at some point, Dez would notice the dwarf kind of eyeing Sangzor, trying to, and you've seen that look before. It's, how many steaks could I make out of that flank?
If I cooked that inside some dwarven beer,
So at some point in time, he will look back at him and go, "Oh, hey, I don't think he's the type that you want to eat."
What?
Yeah, what? Oh, he'd be a little tough, I think. Besides, you'd have one hell of a fight on your hands to get him to even be allowed to be killed. Besides, why would you want to kill a malevolent giant goat? Eh?
Because he looks absolutely delicious. I must. No.
Wonder if he caught that word.
Like, you could see Krenraid's trying to bring his brain back down to reality, but it's not working very well.
Yeah.
He's snapping back and forth between reality and drooling, and he can't really control himself.
So I don't know if Sangzor would put up with any of this or not for very long.
Oh,
being the
Sangzor,
creature of legend that he is.
Well, as long as you're around, Sangzor would probably look at this group, and then after a while would probably wander over to the side of the road and start nibbling on some scrub.
Okay.
It's like
you can deal with them.
Yeah, you guys asked, what do you feed this thing? Basically, it's
whatever
like
it wants
this
to eat.
this is a smorgasbord out here. Of all of the scrub and everything is like
You feed it whatever it wants to eat.
It just looks at some of these dead and dying brush and just and then just sort of looks up at you and in that lower jaw doing that thing where it's like going up and down and side to side as it's grinding the leaves and just sort of looking at you while it's eating.
Thinking, bones would be a little easier to eat than this shit. So, anyway, so he finally kind of looks at you guys and goes, "So are we going? Where are we going? We going to get there anytime soon?"
I have no idea. Okay, right. Faldor, are we taking the goat lady with us, or what's going on here?
Goat lord. Goat lord, I'm not a lady.
Oh, my apologies, goat lad.
I mean, if they're wanting to tag along, I'm not going to say no, but as a group, I think we should make that decision. But I say I see no problem with it. The extra hand wouldn't be a problem. Just where are we going to hide the goat?
I don't think we hide the goat. I don't think any wolves will come anywhere near us with a thing that size walking next to us.
The goat hides himself, by the way.
Oh, well then, because going into towns, it's going to be interesting.
He doesn't like towns.
Oh, well, good. But, I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm just saying, Falliger, you are a sight there, Dez. I mean, we're all a little weird in our own right, but no offense. But I'm just thinking, Mulek, Falliger, what? I mean,
so about this point in time, you see him kind of move his hands a little bit in some gestures, and right before your eyes, he changes back into the Irish wolfhound and lolls his tongue out.
That's again, parlor trick, great, but that works.
And the goat's still there.
The goat lad is a dog.
Hey, not only a dog, you recognize the dog. The dog that, such a cute dog.
Wait.
Maxwell. Maxwell, I think you were told its name was.
I didn't know your dog could transform into a goat boy. What's that about? How did you teach your dog to do that? That's fucking, oh my god, my brain is gone.
So wait a minute, that's not your dog. Why did you say that was your dog?
Oh, it's her dog that's transformed into a goat boy.
No, you got it backwards, Krenraid. That's not her dog.
What?
She lied, and now I'm calling her out on it.
Ireena kind of chuckles and says, "Just spare a moment to get you guys to trust me a bit. If I say it was my dog, then it would be like a random dog. It just made sense in the moment. I do apologize." As she kind of like bows her head a bit.
Thaldor, as a character, Thaldor is going to be sketch from your number one sus on his list for the rest of this adventure. So let you know that.
I believe, gentlemen, that you should, as you say, cut the lady some slack. She has been through a lot recently. It'll be up to her to tell you in her time, if she chooses. But I know that recent past has not been easy on her. And as for this Dez, he says, looking at the dog.
Down and starts scratching his ear with his hind leg.
I wonder. I may have to have a talk with our friend when he's back to being himself again. And then Rictavio says, well, we're not getting anywhere standing here in the road. Shall we continue?
Yeah, we should get to
Let's go.
the town. Yeah, let's go.
How did the dog transform into a guy?
Finger waggling, Krenraid, finger waggling.
Oh, God damn it, finger waggling!
Do you get back up on the bench, Krenraid?
I never left it. I was doing all this from the side. Like, what the hell is that?
Okay. All right. Well, then, in that case, when Rictavio gets up on the bench and flaps the reins to get going, he will explain about druids and their ability to, their connection to the spirits of nature and how they can transform into natural creatures.
I warn you, that would be a very long conversation.
Yeah. So, but which
That's why I said finger waggling.
That's the time. That's how he spends his time. Meanwhile, Falazur, feels like you haven't had a chance to get a word in edgewise for a while. So,
Oh, he's been back there yakking his head off.
It's a pretty lady, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I?
All right. So
if we're gonna start walking, Mulek's gonna hang back with the dog. He's gonna reach his hand into his bag of holding, call forth the stone speaker crystal, and use it to speak with animals. And I'm gonna ask Maxwell if that's his name, which it's not, and say, Dez.
Ireena, apologize.
Two things. I want to know, how did you get here? And what is your purpose?
Oh,
okay.
anyway.
Go ahead. You can.
Oh, okay.
You can respond to that.
He kind of pauses for a moment as he's kind of just walking along and says, oh, I came here over a year ago, and I was in the company of a wizard named Eudovius the Magnificent, but I think honestly he should have been called the Mad. And came here to basically help him and accompany him to find the legendary vampire hunter Rudolf van Richten. That he was originally here hunting the Strahd. And well, some things have happened, and Eudovius disappeared, so to speak. Again, longer story than I have time for, so to speak. But we parted ways, and so that being said, I have been wandering aimlessly. He originally had wanted me to be here to help heal the land, and help the people of Barovia take control of the land once the vampire was destroyed. So, unfortunately, until the vampire is destroyed, and I can't find Eudovius, well, I guess I just wander and do what I can. Unfortunately, the land has gone very sour in many places and will not hold the seed and the life that I try to bring to it.
I see.
Do ya?
Yeah, I mean, this place is a little creepy, if you ask me.
Oh, it's very creepy. I'd like to go home someday.
Well, that is our goal as well. Did you come through the mist?
Out of character, did I?
Yes, but in your case, it seemed like it was very intentional. Eudovius seemed to know exactly where he was going to find the mists that would take him here.
Okay.
And you remember enough of where you came, but every time you go back to that area and you walk into the mists, you walk for what seems like about 30 seconds, and you know you haven't turned around, and you walk out of the mist and you're going exactly back the same way you just came.
Okay.
It's like you walk into the mist and somehow it just turns you 180 degrees and you walk back out right into Barovia again.
Well, he probably would have only done that just a couple of times and then would have gone, screw this shit, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I got better things to do than to play with mist. So he'll basically tell you that you know, he's been stuck here for a while and you know, basically 14 months, and he sure as hell would like to get the F out of here.
Yeah.
Or at least get on the way of having this vampire dead so that he can accomplish the task that he was brought here for and then go home.
Well, it sounds like our goals are very similar. So we came through the mist and we have no way to go home. And it sounds like this wizard of yours, if we are able to locate or find him, he may have a clue as to how we could get out of this place. And this Strahd character seems to have quite a hold on this land, and seems like
yeah, he does. But it's going to take some brave individuals to go up against him.
Yes. Well, this Rictavio fellow that in this wagon here he may have some friends, and we may be able to gather some information that could hopefully help us get out of this place. So anyways,
good.
Welcome to the party. More the merrier.
Well, I'm always quite a merry individual. Hopefully, the rest of you will live up to expectations.
We'll do our best.
And as you all continue walking, you eventually come to a village, and I'm just going to double check and make sure that none of these stupid things are on. Good. Very good.
The way you say that is very ominous.
Okay. Well, it's just because last time when we had the problem with the stupid dynamic lighting, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to do the same thing. So as you approach, you get toward this village, which seems rather more organized, but decidedly smaller than Vallaki. With one exception, you see to the south, you see high up on a bluff with a switchback trail rising up, you see an enormous stone edifice that looks like a huge church or monastery sitting up on top of the hill. And there's that appears to have a walled compound around it. The town itself down below is walled. there are a few little areas, a few homes and everything. The gates here, as you approach the gates are open, and there is a guardhouse, and there's somebody, kind of up on top of the wall near the guardhouse, but looks out at you. They don't appear to be quite as suspicious or as taciturn, if you will, as the folks in Vallaki, where you just were. It seems like these people here are perhaps a little bit more relaxed.
As we arrive, I would have walked up to Rictavio and asked him, do you think my two friends here, my tiger and Jackal, would have an issue in this town?
He looks at them and he says, I think that most peasants would feel extremely anxious around beasts like those two and like that goat. And then as you guys look around, you see that the goat has kind of wandered off. And you guys didn't really see it wander off, but Des had told you that the goat would sort of take care of itself and didn't like towns. So it's apparently wandered off somewhere.
Yeah, so while we were kind of near these trees before getting close to town, I would have had this conversation with Rictavio, and after hearing that, I would go over to Rocky and Ferris and say, hey, go chill in the woods for a bit. If trouble brews, I'll call you with my whistle. And if you can hear it, please come. If not, enjoy your time along these woods here outside the town.
And they look at you and they trot off into the woods. One of them kind of trots off that way. The other one sort of trots off that way. And they disappear into the woods, and they are out of sight.
Okay.
All right. So as you approach, there's a junction in the road off of Old Svalak Road that leads up towards the town. The road branches north here and climbs a rocky escarpment, ending at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone, reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin white wisps of smoke. The somber toll of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside high above the settlement. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog to which you have grown accustomed. It's hard to tell at this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that lead up to the walled settlement, or lead up from the walled settlement to the abbey. And as you get here, Rictavio will lean out of the driver's seat and look back and try to catch Ireena's attention. And he will say, my dear, I believe you will be safe up there. And he points towards the abbey. That is the Abbey of St. Markovia. You will find the abbot, as I understand, to be a very holy man indeed.
I will give him a smile and say, thank you. We'll see what happens.
And he nods. And then you guys you guys head up to as you climb up this escarpment, you notice that because the elevation is getting higher, it's a little cooler here, and the air seems a tiny bit fresher here than it does a little bit further down in the valley. So 2 square towers with peaked roofs flank a stone archway into which is set a pair of 12-foot tall iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the arch above the doors is a name, Krezk. The walls that extend from the gatehouse are 20 feet high. Atop the parapet, you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears. They watch you carefully, but it's not an unfriendly gaze. It's just they're being observant. And kind of marking.
Mulek will wave. Just give a little wave.
And one of them will nod and just sort of raise a hand. Very sort of subdued wave.
So Rictavio, you said you have friends here, contacts?
Yes, the Burgomaster, Dmitri Krezkov. He is a friend of mine, and by reputation, I know of the abbot. I am hoping that, for the sake of the girl, we can gain an audience with him and at least get her inside the walls of the abbey. I believe she will be as safe there as anywhere she can be safe here in this accursed land.
Does Ireena know anyone in this city?
Backstory-wise, no, Ivy. You've heard of Krezk, but I don't think you have any connections here.
No. I don't believe
I see.
so.
I guess lead the way.
She thinks, well, whenever she hears him say, okay, well, she's going to be the safest here she could be, she's kind of like rolling her eyes like, ugh, kind of not really pleased or happy with the situation she's kind of left with.
Yeah. And so the Rictavio will call up to the guards and say, is Dmitri Krezkov still the burgomaster here? And they say, yes, Lord Krezkov is still the burgomaster. Who asks? He says, tell him that Rictavio is here. May my friends and I come inside the gates. And they say, yes, we might want to inspect your wagon to make sure there's no contraband, but otherwise, you all seem to look like everything is in order. And Rictavio smiles at them and says, oh, I assure you there is no contraband in my wagon, but I do have one of the beasts from the carnival inside. If you must inspect, I would ask you to do so from a distance, a safe distance, for your sake. A couple of the guards kind of look at each other a little nervously, and one of them runs off down the road, but then they wave the wagon and the rest of you guys into the town. And so after a time, the guard comes back, and he is leading a man who wears the faded clothing of a once proud noble family. And he looks very tired. He is he looks rather sad. And he says, "Oh, Rictavio, it is you. Who are these people that you are with?" And Rictavio says, "Oh, they are a group of folk who have been detained here in the mist from the outside." And Dmitri Krezkov, you can tell that he sort of grimaces at that. He says, "This is not a good time, Rictavio. The people of the town are on edge, and I have problems of my own to deal with." And anybody who wants to can make an insight check on him.
I'm going to use my inspiration for that one.
Okay. All right.
Why not? Yeah.
Because she's already on edge about this whole scenario, so.
As is Krenraid.
Wow,
yeah.
Krenraid's got a good one.
Yeah.
I've been kind of, on the bench a lot of this, so better come in.
Yeah, Ireena, Dez, and Krenraid. All of you can tell that this noble, looking around the corners of his eyes, he has been weeping. Probably like someone who's grieving a loss.
Well, hopefully we can be a benefit.
I do not see how.
Well, this troop has done many wonderful, crazy, stupid, amazing things. We'll have to let time be the teller of that tale.
Well, as for my people, the only thing I think that would help them is if somehow you can find out why the Martikovs are not delivering wine from the vineyard anymore. The latest shipment is overdue, and my people are thirsty. And as for myself, the only thing that could possibly help me is if the abbot, he points up at the abbey high on the hill, if the abbot could be persuaded to come down to the town. He's the only one I know that might be able to do something.
Well, as far as I'm aware, we head in that way anyway. Maybe we can ask him. Is he seeing visitors right now, or has he locked himself away in his little tower?
And when you say that, he kind of his fists kind of clench and his jaw clenches a little bit. And then after a few moments, he relaxes a little bit, says, you can go up there and knock on the door as much as you want. If anyone answers and lets you in, I would beg you, tell him to come and visit the burgomaster. Otherwise, if he has no answer for you, then I'm not sure that we have any accommodations here in the town.
I see. Well, we'll certainly try, I can guarantee you that. Hi-ho, Silver, away, let's go.
And Rictavio looks at him and says, my lord, may I have a word? And says, yes. And so the two of them walk off a little bit. And if you want to overhear any of what they're saying, you would have to make a perception check. But otherwise, they whisper quietly to each other. And then Rictavio just sort of reaches up and claps the Burgomeister on the shoulder and gives his shoulder a little reassuring squeeze, and then sort of pats him on the back. And then he turns back, and you can tell there's sort of a heaviness in Rictavio's features as he comes back towards the wagon. 14 no, 15 no, 15 no. Okay. So you guys can't quite overhear what they are saying. But then he sits up climbs up into the driver's seat, and he looks at Krenraid and he says, let us hope that the abbot will hear us. Ireena is not the only one who, it seems, may need protection.
Oh, that's very sad to hear.
And so you start to make your way up, and indeed, as you go through, you see Rictavio had led you to believe that this town might be more wealthy, and you get the sense now that he was probably just telling you that in order to try to get you to come here with him. Because you see, the mist-shrouded village beyond the wall is nothing more than a scattering of humble wooden cottages along dirt roads that stretch between stands of snow-dusted pine trees. So many trees, in fact, as to constitute a forest. To the northeast, gray cliffs rise sharply, and the road winding up to the abbey is easy to see from this vantage. And as you come up that winding road, you notice that it's a switchback road that hugs the cliff, is 10 feet wide and covered with loose gravel and chunks of broken rock. The ascent is slow and somewhat treacherous, and the air grows colder as you near the top. And then you are eventually standing before the gates of the abbey. And let me just verify what. Okay.
So is this the abbey right here at the top?
Yes, that is the. Yeah,
and this down here is just another depiction of it.
No, that's a depiction of the gate leading into the town.
Oh, okay, all right, gotcha.
And the abbey up here is a big walled compound with large walls that have parapets and look like they are defensive battlements here in this area. And then there's 2 substantial buildings that make up the abbey with the rest of the walled compound inside. And the wall sits, or the abbey sits up about 500 feet higher than the level of the town. And as you reach the gate, the road from the village climbs up to the mist, to the wide ledge on which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The gravel road passes between 2 small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot-high, 3-foot-thick wall of jumbled stones held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its 2 wings are joined by a 15-foot-tall high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the rooftop to the closer north wing, which also sports a chimney billowing gray smoke. And now that we are here at the gates of the abbey, that is where we are going to end our session for this week.
Yay.
So, Heather.
Yeah.
Glad you could join the group. And Ivy, thank you so much for taking on the challenge of playing Ireena. Are you available again next week, Ivy?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so we will continue to see what Ireena's story brings as you arrive here. And we will see what happens in the Abbey of St. Markovia. Once you are...
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, once you are here now. So, viewers, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This has been the Sword Coast Chronicles Session 41. Before we depart tonight, I want to give a couple of our players a chance to let you know what's going on their Twitch channels. Paul, anything special going on with you before we return next Thursday?
Nothing solid as of yet, but just a heads up for all the viewers out there. We have planning a Strixhaven Magic the Gathering inspired game. Harry Potter mixed with some certain high school tropes. I personally think there's tons of D&D potential in the set. So I can't wait to see what Nick over at the Action Sturge comes up to do with that. More news on that as it develops. That's
okay, wonderful. And Michael, what is going on over in the Doors of Fear channel between now and next Thursday?
Yes, tomorrow I host, it'll be session 3 of our Dragon Heist campaign tomorrow that I'm DMing on my channel. And then in between that, after Friday, sometime between Friday and Thursday, I'll probably just be playing some different games because I'm a random game streamer sometimes.
Okay, wonderful. And then Saturday night, we will be back on this channel for another character creation session for the Saturday night game. I believe that we'll actually get some of the little solo adventures that will introduce the characters and help them get from where they are in the world to the place where all the characters are meeting to begin the adventure. And then Sunday, we will be back at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for the Walker of Waterdeep. They are right in the middle of a big fight in that in that campaign. They are fighting against the Oni of Chaos in Kamigawa. And I think they probably have another couple of rounds left in that battle. And then on Monday night, we will be taking a look at a Monster Monday, and I have not yet chosen what the monster is going to be. We did the series on the goblins. I did the one on how I created Reise, the falling star, for the Sunday game, and now it'll be back to probably looking at the history of another monster throughout the history of D&D. All right, well, thank you very much, and then next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be back here for session 42, the session that will be the ultimate answer to the ultimate question of life,
42?
the universe, and everything. Yes.
42.
Yeah, session 42. The ultimate answer session. So
Make sure you bring a towel, everyone.
Yes.
You got to know where your towel's at.
You have
Don't forget
to know
your
where your towel.
Don't forget your Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as well. It's got a lot of useful
Yeah.
pointers.
Don't panic. All right, so I am going to look at the folks that are on the small streamer community and see what is up and who is perhaps doing some streaming right now. And so there's Devour, there's Call of Duty, there's...
Oh, Devour's a cool game. They just released the Asylum map number 2. I played it yesterday. It's a good horror game.
Okay, so that's...
If you want to see someone get scared, it scare the bejesus out of you.
Oh, it looks like they actually just changed to a different game.
Oh, no. Bummer.
Yes, and yeah.
They probably got scared
too
and got off it.
Yeah, it's really
exactly.
scary. It's a scary game.
Okay, all right. So, let's go and see what... All right, we're going to go ahead and see what Cat Buggle is up to. All right, so in honor of the fact that we had the Barovian Caterwaul tonight, we'll raid Cat Buggle. Okay, everyone, thank you guys so much for hanging out this evening. We hope that you will have a great week, and we hope that we will see you back here next time for another session of the Sword Coast Chronicles. Good night, everybody.
And thank you for having me.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you
welcome.
for coming. The pleasure was ours.
Yeah.